You might want to unhost the guy you're hosting, by the way.
It will. It's on auto host. See, it just exited
Ah, okay.
host.
All right.
Yeah, I have the Twitch auto host on. Ed held Disry with that host. Thank you, baby girl. You know I love you. Black Crow, what's going on? How are you? Danny boy, hi. You're a host. Awesome. Thank you. Brooke, thank you so much for that host. You're amazing. Danny boy with that host. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Oh, I love you too, Ed.
Danny's actually doing something really, really sweet for me. He's doing a giveaway on his end, and he's encouraging people to sub to me and stuff. He's giving
Aw,
people extra tickets if they sub to me for the giveaway. That's
that's
really awesome, man.
awesome. Brooke, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to my madness. Make sure that you follow my partner, Ghost GT27. He's the other half of the safe zone. Without him, this would not be possible. Let's see. Ford Soldier, Twitchy Ninja. Thank you guys so much for the host. You're amazing. When you
I have I have no idea if we're even still doing Overwatch tonight. Are you and me just riding it, or what's the plan with that?
It depends on how Ghost is feeling because he was in a lot of pain earlier. So we'll see. He said he'd let me know.
So if he's not playing, you're not playing then?
Yeah, he'll let me know.
All
The
right,
Missing
that's
Spartan, thank you so much for that host. You're amazing. Your brother in crime, that's awesome, Brog.
Yeah, Bruckner's an absolutely awesome guy too. Got a lot of new people in my community. They're absolutely awesome. I love all of my people.
Biggs, what's going on? How are you? Riding it. Oh my. Oh my indeed.
Biggs is our resident pervert. Don't mind him.
He'll fit in great. What's up, DC? How are you? Yeah, Ghost is alright. He's just in pain. The Steel Dawn, what's going on? You're one of his main mods. That's awesome.
Main mods, come on. Let's not kid ourselves.
Ghost, I'm alive. Damn. DC, thank you so much for that host. You're amazing. Ghost, where's my host at, babe? Calling my partner out. You sent out a personalized tweet. You're awesome, girly. She Monkey with that host. Thank you so much, girl. You're awesome.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. In fact, I should probably quickly hop on CGN. I didn't even think about it and post about it real quick too.
Irene, thank you for that host. You're amazing. Aw, no, you have to be alive, Ed. I know, Ghost. I'm just messing with you. You know that. Steve the Pirate with that host. Thank you so much, man. You're amazing. I know you're here as promised. You're awesome.
There we go. All right, got it posted on CGN.
You haven't gotten rid of me, so I guess I'm valued. The Desert Rug with that host. Thank you so much.
Most persistent. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Atomic Donut. Thank you for the host. What's up? Live your life. What are we drinking tonight? App doesn't have anything to drink tonight.
Yep, sadly. I tried to convince her to run me to the store since my car's run down at the moment. If my car's transmission wasn't out, I would have went and got some stuff, but she's like, "No, you're watching the baby in the morning. I'm not having a drunk dad watching the baby." And I'm like, "Well,
Aww.
that's the sensible, responsible thing to do." So,
All right. Unlucky Ghost. Thank you so much for that host. All right. So I'm going to mute us and start my stream real quick.
Boo.
Oh my god!
Give me the mic, I'm back, bitch.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic night tonight. War Fury, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to my madness. Make sure that you follow my partner, Ghost GT27. He's the other half of the safe zone. Without him, this would not be possible. With me tonight, I have Abathur, a partnered streamer. So hopefully all of you guys have your questions ready. Bipolar, Shadow Shot, Easy K, I'm the gamer. Little Skank, thank you guys so much for those hosts. You guys are fucking amazing. Abathur, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Just been keeping an eye on the baby.
Fantastic. I am so happy to have you here. You don't know how much this means to all of the small streamers that are going to be in here asking you questions about everything that they need to know about how to grow their stream. So, thank you ahead of time so much for being here.
Yep, no problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
I am from a really, really tiny farm town in Indiana. It sucks here. It's always cold. It's always rainy. It's not fun.
Kind of sounds like Washington.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what made you start streaming?
Well, I have a shortened spine and damaged leg nerves, and so I can't stand on my feet for very long without my feet swelling up really bad.
Mhm.
And so the only work that I could find in the tiny town that I live in was part-time delivery, and I started streaming just for shits and giggles, really, and it ended up paying out better than part-time delivery, so I just went into it and just YOLO'd it and decided to commit to it fully, and it just went really well. So I've just been making a living doing it ever
That's
since.
awesome. The Steel Dawn, thank you for your follow. Welcome to my madness. Again, make sure you follow my partner Ghost GT27. Exclamation point Ghost in the stream. He's the other half of the safe zone, and together we promote streamers. We help you guys grow your community. One of the reasons, before we go any further, that we do these interviews is so that everybody can get to know the streamer on a different level than you get to know them while they're streaming. So tonight, all of you guys that are here from Ab's stream, you're going to get to know him. Obviously, you already know him as a streamer. But you're gonna get a chance to know him as a gamer from like overall history of his like whole history of streaming, and you're also gonna get to know him on more of a personal level as well. So toward the end of the stream, make sure that you guys hold your questions until we open it up for you guys. Um, we'll have that set up so that you guys can ask him whatever questions you want. They could be personal questions, and obviously, I want you guys to ask him questions about being a partner as well. Um, with that said, how long have you been streaming?
I started streaming July of last year. I want to say it was like July 18th, I think. So
Hmm.
just a little bit over a year.
Awesome. What about your setup? What kind of a setup do you run off of?
What do you mean?
Like your PC, do you run PC console?
Oh yeah, just exclusively PC at the moment. I don't have like the greatest top of the line PC either. It's a few years old and it's getting pretty dated. I need to get some new stuff in it soon. Falling behind.
It happens.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of like special equipment like your mic, keyboard, mouse? Like, is it just
Not really, no. I've got just a really cheap blue snowball and a very basic Logitech keyboard. The only like gaming peripheral that I have is my Razer Battlefield 4 type hand mouse, and that's about it. Otherwise, everything I use is pretty low end, and I just managed to get by. I'm trying to get a Razer Siren mic soon though, 'cause that way I can up my mic quality a bit.
That's awesome. Ghost, thank you so much for the host. You're amazing. You know, you're my favorite. So what about your schedule? What kind of a schedule do you run on?
As far as streaming goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to have a pretty consistent 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. schedule, 7 days a week. Sometimes I'd be shorter, a little longer, but I tried to stay pretty consistent on the 12 hours a day whenever I could. Baby makes that a little hard now, though, so I
All
just
right.
do it whenever I can.
Right. And she's what, a month and a half old now?
She'll be 2 months and 3 days.
Aww. And she's adorable.
She is a little cutie.
She's absolutely adorable. He panned down the other day when we were talking and showed her to me, and she's just sitting there in her little swing, just smiling like, "Hey, I'm here. What do you want?"
Yeah.
She's adorable. So tell me, what kind of games do you stream?
I primarily like I got partnered streaming exclusively Heroes of the Storm, which is a MOBA
Mm,
like League of Legends or Dota, being big names that other people probably recognize more. But I like to play almost anything outside of like sports and like puzzle games. Really, that's all I won't really play. I'll play just about anything. I love shooters and role playing games and stuff, especially MOBAs. So play a little bit of this and that.
right. And yesterday, the game that we were playing on the front page with
Oh yeah,
you,
Hive Jump.
yeah,
Yeah,
that game was so much fun. And I'm not a side scroller. Like
I'm not either.
oh, they annoy me. And like I said yesterday, the pixelated games just irritate
Yeah,
me. But that one was so much fun.
yeah, I
I
had fun with that one.
Yeah. So, speaking of your schedule, though, you're also on the front page for how many more weeks? Wednesday from 11
Until
a.m. till 1 p.m.
yep, and up until November 30th, I think is the last day. So
Awesome.
I've got like 5 more Wednesdays, I believe.
That's awesome. That's Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you guys all get a chance to jump over to Ab's stream on Wednesdays and support him while he's on the front page. That's just an amazing opportunity for you to be, featured for that.
Mhm.
And you plan on streaming just random games, or do you have a set schedule for
I'm
those? Or
I'm not 100% certain yet, because on one hand, I kind of want to stream, like competitive games because they do drive a larger audience and it
hmm
makes it easier to retain people. But at the same time, with the baby, I'm trying to kind of get out of competitive games. And I feel like if I were to stream competitive games on the front page, it might give the audience the wrong impression. I don't want people to stick around for all this competitive gameplay and then realize, oh, well, this guy's not actually playing competitive games afterward and just unfollow and never come back. So I'm just trying to play more like variety stuff that I'm most likely going to be playing regularly, so people get an idea of who I am as a person, and if what I'm doing and who I am is the kind of person they want to stick around with regardless of what I play. So
right, Mr. Moneybags, thank you for that host. You're amazing. Um, let's see. So, what's your favorite game to stream?
favorite game to stream? Oh goodness, I'm thinking. There's quite a few of them that are fun to stream. I'd say probably Heroes of the Storm, even if it's not quite my favorite game. It's my favorite to stream just because it gets a lot of people engaging with me in chat, and it's a fun experience to have hundreds of people talking to you at the same time, trying to keep up with them. It's a blast.
That's awesome. So, what's your all-time favorite game from the very first game you ever played until now?
Ah, God, probably Neverwinter Nights, old school Dungeons and Dragons exploration, stuff. I love those party-based dungeon crawling games. They're always a romp. Just petting my dog. She's being lovey down here.
Yeah, Warhaven too. Is he
I'm
petting the
petting the
dog or the
baby.
baby?
I'm petting the dog. She's just chilling down here. Don't mind me.
That's
Don't
awesome.
mind me.
Do you remember what the first game that you ever played was?
I want to say it was the original StarCraft. My mom married this one guy, and I happened to hop on the computer. I was a really little kid. I was young when that happened, and he was playing StarCraft, and he stepped away and left the game up, and I started just dicking around with it and had no idea what I was doing, but I thought it was really cool. And eventually he taught me how to play it. And I just kind of grew up on like StarCraft, Command and Conquer, and Diablo 2 and whatnot, playing on my trash dial up internet connection way back when, good old days.
That's awesome. What's up, Bab? Sinister, thank you so much for that host. You're amazing. Um, his leg, Biggs. He's putting his leg. Not on stream. Oh my. So do you remember the first game that you ever beat?
Uh, oh, damn. I'm thinking it was probably like an SNES game. I want to say it was Zombies Ate My Neighbors because I used to pound endless hours into that damn game after school as a kid. That was a really fun game and had a great soundtrack. I think it was that one. I don't know. I'm gonna assume it was that one because that's the only game coming to my mind as far as beating as a kid.
Do you remember how you felt when you beat it?
Kind of like a boss. Yeah.
The-
It always feels good to conquer a game that pisses you off.
oh man, I forgot to shut off my troll sounds. Oh, whoops. Phantom and Jacana, thank you guys so much for those hosts. You're amazing. So what do you do besides gaming?
Uh, Not really anything, honestly. Since I have, my back and leg issues and my car's run down, I pretty much spend every day here at home. And so I'm on the computer like all the time. So I'm either just answering emails and talking to sponsors and my agent and other streamers and networking and helping people out. I like to stay up and help small streamers with their streams and whatnot, and just hang out with people and whatnot and watch movies, especially horror movies. That's about it, really.
That's awesome. Red, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to my madness. Make sure you follow my partner, Ghost GT27. He's the other half of the safe zone. And I love that comment. War said,
Hey,
yes, Ab. Tell us, how do you feel when you beat it?
please no.
Mega, thank you for that host. You're amazing. By the way, guys, this is an after dark stream. You're gonna hear plenty of profanity and tons of obviously sexual innuendo. If you're under the age of 18, please don't tell us. We really don't want to know. Um, so there's my warning. You've been duly noted. Um, all right, so this next question is absolutely one of my favorite questions to ask streamers. Now, this question pertains to you on a personal note. So, this is either something that happened to you while you were streaming or something that you witnessed while you were in stream with someone else. I mean, you could have just been in their chat or you could have been in game with them. But it's something that you had to have personally witnessed, not something you saw on YouTube or anything like that. But I want to know, what is your most outrageous Twitch experience?
Uh, I mean, if I'm completely 100% honest about it, it might be really, really bad. I mean, really bad. Like, I could possibly get banned from Twitch if I mention it, so I don't know if I should.
You can mention, I've had some pretty outrageous things mentioned on here, so you're fine.
I kind of, after stream one night, forgot to shut off my stream and went to bed and left my stream running for hours and then came back in the middle of the night and, had some personal time with myself and forgot the stream was on. And there was probably 20 people sitting in the stream, and I didn't know that my stream was running, and I didn't have my Twitch chat open. And I come back the next day to like 20 people having spammed in my history chat, like, "Oh my God, is he? Oh, ew, ew!" And they're like, Abba, turn it off." And oh my God, it was so fucking embarrassing. Like, I've never screamed at my internet browser to go to a VOD to delete it faster in my life. I was like, please make it stop. No,
Oh
I
my
was so scared I was
god.
gonna get an email from my rep like that's just nasty. Like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
Oh my
So,
god.
so you better bet your ass I always make sure OBS is off when I'm done streaming.
Absolutely a great
Oh,
idea. That's
yeah.
that's hilarious. There was one time when I actually very first started on Twitch. I think you'll enjoy this because of what you just shared. The first time I was on Twitch, it was a guy had that I was talking to. He from school was like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to stream. Come watch." And I'm like, I didn't even know what the fuck that meant. And quite frankly, that's the reason why my name on here is Rochelle because I didn't even know that you could like make up a fucking name.
Yeah.
So what had happened was he streamed for a couple of days and I watched him. I didn't know that there were any other games or anything, so I looked up Mountain Blade, which was the game that he had been streaming,
Uh,
and popped into the first stream that I found, and it was some guy that was sitting there playing with one hand and jerking it with the other.
like on stream?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I literally backed out of the fucking channel as fast as I could and jumped in the very next stream that I found and like I about threw up. I was like, I can't believe I just witnessed that. I didn't know that
Wow.
you could report it or like I didn't know anything about it. I was so mortified. I almost like completely quit watching Twitch like completely. It was hilarious. So you completely understand like that happens to people.
Oh yeah, and what Steele said, that happened too one time. I was on Discord and he was the only other guy in the Discord channel, and I totally left Discord open and just blurted all my credit card information out on Discord.
Oh
But thankfully
dear.
thankfully he was the only guy in there and Steele's not an
Oh
asshole. That could
my
have been horrible.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
my
too many damn
goodness.
programs, too little attention span can lead to some bad things
Right.
happening.
Right. Warhaven. Nope, 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 nope. All kinds of nope.
Yep.
Back,
All the
back, back,
notes.
back, 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 back. Back, 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 back. Yeah, no, that's pretty freaking funny. Do you rage?
Do I rage? I used to. Oh my God. I used to be the worst person to play MOBAs with. I used to just get so mad. And like when I was younger, I used to throw shit and like I'd break controllers and I was a furious little kid. And I kind of grew up over time and just kind of kept my saltiness to myself. But when I play MOBAs and I get really pissed, I can get really salty and I start to rage a bit. But I tend to be kind of a calm rager. Like I try not to shout and throw stuff and be a child about it, but I do get pretty pissed when I play video games.
So tell me here, hold on a second. I have to figure out who just hosted. Kingsport and Mizzy, thank you guys so much for those hosts. You guys are awesome. So tell me, what kind of rage, like, what did your rage consist of when you were raging? Like, did you break stuff?
Yeah. Like, well, when I was younger, I'd break stuff, and when I was older, I would just go like if I was playing like League of Legends and someone pissed me off, I would just go on these like multi-paragraph tirades against them and tell them all kinds of horrible ways that they should end their own lives and stuff. I was one of those people,
Oh
and
my
thankfully,
goodness.
thankfully, I'm not that kind of person anymore. That was a number of years ago when I was in a dark time in my life. I'm not an asshole like that anymore. Now I just
That's
mute them or just tell them to shut up and play the game. But yeah, oh man, I was one of those people. I try
that's
not to be that kind of guy
hilarious.
now.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. CN Sun, thank you so much for that host, honey. You're amazing. Again, tonight is all about Ab, partnered streamer over here on Twitch, featured on the front page of Twitch right now every Wednesday until the end of November from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if for any reason any of you guys are having issues with the stream, make sure that you check those quality options and change that so that it's a little bit more appropriate for you. Um, what is your greatest gaming achievement?
Um, well, I've never really been pro or great at anything, but I do have the honor of being able to say that I started playing the Heroes of the Storm Technical Alpha really, really early on, and playing Abathur, the hero that I main when I play and that got me partnered with Twitch. Like a lot of people played him, but I played him in unique ways that I'd never really seen other people play him, and I did things with him in a fashion that nobody knew that he could do, and that was the main reason for a long time that people actually came to watch me. Was they're like, "Whoa, I didn't know Abathur could do that. I've never seen an Abathur this good." And so like I got to pioneer a whole bunch of cheesy ass Abathur strategies and call them my own, be like knowing that yeah, I was the one that started that bandwagon. So yeah, so it feels good to know that I started a trend and whatnot and got shit nerfed, but it sucks they nerfed it. Fuck you, Blizzard.
That is pretty amazing, though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
my only accomplishment.
that's all right. Drunken and Cake, thank you guys so much for the host. You guys are amazing. Um, all right, so we'll get into this next question quite a bit at the end of our stream, but just really quick, what is the most important advice that you could give everybody that's in here right now?
Wait, about what? Sorry.
Advice that you could give them as a streamer.
As a streamer?
Yeah. Like I
Oh
said,
God.
we'll get into this a lot more in depth in the
Oh,
question
okay.
and answer, but
Talk to your stream. Always be talking. Dead air streams are the most boring thing for a viewer to watch. I see it way too often. Way too often. It's 15 seconds or more of dead air, and you've scared everybody off, unfortunately. That,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's amazing advice. Hunt, and thank you so much for the host. May save you with a host. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. All right, so this next part of the interview is really fun. For all of you guys that are just joining this stream, if you guys have never been a part of this before, this is what we call Are You Addicted? I'm going to go through a series of questions that will pertain to Ab's entire history from the first game you ever played up until today. So if any of these questions pertain to anything that may have happened at all in history, answer it truthfully with us. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask these questions. He's going to answer them as quickly as he can with yes or no, maybe, sort of, whatever, just simple answers. You guys are going to judge him at the end and let us know if he's addicted or not addicted to video gaming. Odin, addicted as hell. We haven't even started yet, Odin.
Yeah. Busted.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Do you often relive gaming experiences or think about future ones?
Yes.
Do you hide or lie about your gaming?
Yes.
Do you get very angry when someone or something interrupts a game?
Absolutely.
Have you ever taken a break from gaming and then binged uncontrollably upon your return?
Yep.
When you're upset, do you soothe yourself with plans to play games or with actually gaming?
Yes.
Do you find yourself gaming into the early morning hours?
Every night.
Do you find ways to game when you're away from home, excluding Pokemon Go?
Yep. Always have an iPod with me. Mobile games all the time.
Do you set limits with gaming and then break them, playing hours longer than you intended?
Absolutely.
Do you lose hours of sleep to gaming?
Yes.
Have you ever called in late or sick to work or skipped classes to play games?
No. Mm-mm.
Have you ever sworn off a game, uninstalled it, and later returned to it?
Yes.
Do you feel guilt and shame around your gaming?
Yeah, a little bit.
Does gaming contribute to arguments in your relationships?
Yeah.
Has gaming taken the place of any hobbies or sports that you otherwise used to enjoy?
Yep.
Do you forget appointments, responsibilities, or deadlines at work or school while gaming?
No.
Do you become irritated and defensive when people suggest that you may be gaming just a little too much?
Yep. Yep.
Have your hours spent gaming increased over time?
Yes.
Do you blow off social events to game?
Yep.
Have you lost contact with friends or family since gaming?
Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
have intense feelings while gaming?
Yes.
Do you eat while gaming or forget to eat while gaming, excluding social eating?
All the time.
Are most of your friends gamers?
Yep.
Are gaming stories some of the most exciting topics of conversation for you?
Yes.
Do you read many game related guides and articles?
Yep.
Do you fear a life without gaming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel irritable or restless when you're away from games for a few days?
Absolutely.
Do you envy people who can game in moderation?
No.
Yeah, that one always gets people because what the fuck is moderation, right? Do you prefer your game character's identity to your own?
Mm, no, not really.
Have you ever stolen anything to contribute to your gaming?
No, no.
Do you think your life might be much better without games?
Hell no.
Do you find yourself bored with pretty much anything else in life besides gaming?
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
Have you put spending on games ahead of your financial responsibilities?
No.
Have you gained weight since becoming a gamer?
You looked at me?
Have you felt remorse after a gaming binge?
Never.
Have you ever suffered physical pains from intense gaming?
Yes.
Have you suffered more financial problems since obsessively gaming?
Mm, nah, not really.
When you want to spend time with your friends, do you invite them over to play games?
Yep.
Do you spend real money in games such as DLC, crates, skins, and such?
Rarely.
Do
Rarely.
you get angry and insulting with other players who make mistakes?
Sometimes.
Have you tried limiting your gameplay by switching games?
Yeah,
And ABBA, are the people in your life worried about your gaming?
probably.
There you have it, guys. In a nutshell, spam the chat with addicted or not addicted. I want to see what you guys think about him. Go ahead. Now, as we go into this next part, we're going to do question and answer. As you guys are asking questions, all I ask is that you direct the questions to me. So do at Rochelle LD. That way it highlights it and stacks it up at the top of my screen. So if we miss a question, I can get it. And also, it will take a few minutes to get through everyone's questions, so please be patient. I will get to them all. Look at this. Addicted, addicted. He's not addicted. He's already already deaded by overdose. Addicted. Addicted, addicted. Probably the most addicted person we've had yet. Yes, Ghost. I think you're right.
I don't know. I wouldn't have life without video games.
Right? Exactly. Johnny the Bear, what's going on? How are you? A spicy lice or Les Piper wants to know, do you play Division?
I played it a little bit when one of my viewers gifted it to me, but I couldn't get into it a whole lot. Shooters and especially third-person shooters have never really been my favorite games. I can't really enjoy them for long stretches of time.
Odin himself, will you ever win a match of golf with friends?
Probably not. Cheeky shit, he cheats.
Oh, we have that game too, by the way. Uh, I ate Nemo. Should I have arguments with myself on stream and make myself look crazy?
I mean, if it's what your stream's gimmick is to bring in people, do what you want. I know a streamer who's a freaking Muppet, so you do what you gotta do to entertain people.
Maximus, have you ever tried Destiny?
I played the beta on my PlayStation 4 way back in the day, but I never did end up actually picking it up, though.
Warhaven, if you could be a plant, any plant, what would you be?
Am I allowed to be cannabis?
Oh, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a plant.
What? I'm...
If you or would you play Aramec if you got the chance with me and
Am I micromanaging addiction?
micromanaging addiction? That's from War Fury
I
Gaming.
think I've played Air Mech before. I'm never against playing games with viewers and, bonding with people, so I can put it on my to-do list.
That's awesome. How did you and your wife meet?
Um, Funny story. We went to the same babysitters back when we were in elementary school, and she was a big bully, and she made me mad. And I bet her I could beat her at a wrestling game, and if I won, she had to kiss me. I won. So,
Aw.
and then we kind of like separated for years and years and years, and then met again around the end of high school. And she poked me on Facebook, and I was like, "Who the hell are you?" And she's like, "You don't remember me?" And then we started going out on dates and stuff, and we ended up getting married and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a cute story.
That is
We
so adorable. That is so adorable. War Room Cult Gaming. Um, Johnny the Bear, thank you for the follow. Welcome to my madness. Follow my partner Ghost GT27. He's the other half safe zone. Without him, this would not be possible. War Room Cult Gaming says, I've been streaming for a year and I've been struggling to maintain a crowd. No one loves me. That's not true, Sinister. But I use Twitter and tweet out when I'm streaming. What is the best way to spread the word properly?
I've been finding that a great way to get a lot of people into your channel, is to talk to a lot of other streamers and network, kind of integrate yourself into a lot of different communities. I mean, I've joined a few Discord communities. I've been, going into Twitter and searching up variety streamers and just streamers in general, following bunches of them, and then messaging them and, hanging out with them. I hang out with smaller streamers all the time and just game with them. It's a great way to make new friends. And a lot of the time, you gotta focus less on yourself and put into others, and it all comes back with like positive karma to you. So the more that you hang out in other people's channels and get your name out there and expose yourself to more people and just be like the kind of guy that people want to go watch, more people will come to your channel. It's just all about getting your name out there so people know you exist. So
That's amazing. The Missing Spartan says, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
absolutely. I am the best hot dog.
Ayo, motherfucker says, what's your opinion on virtual reality and do you see it becoming a major change to gaming in general in the next 5 to 10 years?
Absolutely. I think virtual reality gaming, like I've been waiting for VR gaming to actually be a thing since I was a little kid. Like I'm not old enough to remember like the old shitty VR systems from like way back in the dinosaur era. You remember those shit ones that was like red and black and would burn your retinas out, those stupid things. But I mean, a lot of VR technologies aren't really there yet where they need to be to really take over. They're expensive and clunky, and but I mean, I feel like, as technology progresses and it gets cheaper and more affordable, and mainstream, I think it'll really take off. It's definitely, hopefully, going to be the future of gaming because there's just so much more immersion when it comes to gaming like that. Especially like MMOs and stuff. Oh my god, I just I want it.
That'll be amazing. Omega Plex 43 says, are game developers designing games that are unique or just content pushing SOSDD?
I feel like, I mean, a lot of the big AAA publishers don't want to take risks on new IPs, and so it's just safer for them to rehash the same games over and over. Not naming any Call of Duty games here, but you know what I mean. But and a lot of indie companies would definitely go out of their way to make cool new experiences, and they just can't quite get the funding that they need, which really sucks. Which is why, like Kickstarter and all those websites are great, because it makes great games like Undertale. Undertale's a great game. Go play Undertale. Some good stuff. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I mean, I like how the game sphere is, because you got to dig for some really interesting experiences. But I agree that the mainstream space should definitely get some fresh blood and whatnot, because there's just not enough cool new stuff. It's like each year it's like the new Call of Duty, the new Battlefield, and whatever Mario game 29 Sonic comes out. It's like you never hear new stuff coming out, and I don't know. I wish there were more cool new games to play, but fortunately, I don't know. This year's felt really stale. I've played like nothing new this year. It's really depressing.
That's kind of funny though. And also, I did forget to mention to you, if ever there's a question that you don't want to answer, the simple way to do it is Snoop Nelson. That's who the Safe Zone is voting for presidency this year.
Snoop
Snoop Dogg and
Nelson.
Willie Nelson. So Snoop Nelson is our veto if there's ever a question you want to answer. With that
All
said,
right.
Warhaven SC says, Train A traveling 70 miles an hour leaves Westfield heading towards Eastford. 260 miles away. At the same time, train B, traveling 60 miles, leaves Eastford, heading toward Westford. When do the two trains meet?
When the blunt runs out.
Republica, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to my madness. Make sure you follow my partner, Ghost GT27. He's the other half of the safe zone, and together we do everything. Help promote all of you streamers and everything. So make sure you give him a follow. Spicy says, is it good to have multi games or to play, or is it okay to only play one game?
If okay, it depends on what you're looking at when it comes to streaming. If your intent was streaming, and I feel that if you really, really honestly want to get partnered, you need to figure it out early. If your intent is to get partnered, it's absolutely best to play one game and only one game and have a very consistent schedule with it because that's the easiest way to keep bringing people back. Um, but if you're like me, and you get kind of burnt out on playing the same game all the time, it's going to end up biting you in the long run because you're sorry, I'm hold on, I'm trying to plug this in and the cord's cut. My wife needs her iPod charged. Um Hold on. Sorry, sweetie. I probably because it's the wrong cord, huh? Sorry. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to kind of get popular in a game that you don't have fun playing anymore because that just puts a lot of stress on you. Honestly, though, if you're just doing it as a hobby, play whatever the hell you want. I mean, the whole point is to have fun anyway, make friends, play awesome games together. I mean, if you go into it trying to treat it like a business right out the bat, you're gonna have a hell of a lot less fun with it. It's usually better to just have fun, and if you notice that you're getting a following in a game, then you can start considering taking it into like partnership status. But I mean, because that's kind of how it was when I played HOTS. Wasn't getting into HOTS wanting to be a full-time streamer. I just, was a well-known person in game. People were like, "Hey, Abathur, you should start streaming." And then within like the first couple weeks, had like 20, 30 people in my stream, and people just kept coming and coming, and I had like 1,000 followers in like 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." So, and it just kind of went from there. But yeah, I mean, if you want to try and be partnered, pick a game that's not super convoluted with viewers and streamers. Like, honestly, unless you're a pro player, don't be playing like League and COD and CSGO and stuff. You got to find a game that's right in the middle of the catalog and just get a real good schedule, network with streamers in there, be a really awesome person, help others out, do giveaways or whatever, and people will come. It takes time, it takes patience. You got to be entertaining and unique, but I mean, people will come eventually if you're worth watching.
That's amazing. And Nemo, you're gonna have to do the interview command again, honey. I'm so sorry. I didn't have the queue open, so I just reset my bot at the beginning of the stream. So I do apologize. Leaves TK says, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
If I could live anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
um, well, our goal is that we want to go move to Chattanooga, Tennessee, just because A, it's got good cost of living, and B, it's really pretty, and those two things together pretty much rock. So, I mean, anywhere. I mean, there's all sorts of places I'd like to visit, but without visiting there first, I don't know if I'd conscientiously just want to say, yeah, I want to live there, because everywhere sucks once you've lived there long enough, let's be honest. So,
Right.
yeah.
Be a Ninja 69 says, what is your biggest fear in life?
Being alone. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I mean, I'm a socialite and I need people around me constantly. If I feel lonely really easily, and I like to talk to people always. Like, I won't even touch single player games most of the time unless I'm streaming it and can talk to an audience. I never ever play games like on my own single player because it's too lonely for me. I always have to be interacting with other human beings. I'm weird.
Aww, that's sweet. She also asks, what is your biggest regret?
Biggest regret? Oh man, if I mention my biggest regret, it's gonna get really, really dark and emotional really fast in here.
Snoop Nelson?
I mean, I can.
It's
Uh,
up to you. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
I mean, I do because I mean it kind of lets a lot of people know like a big thing about me that
Hmm.
kind of also leads me to where I'm at today. But like, um, I and for it to make sense, I'd have to go back a bit. So story time, class. Everybody get comfy. It's not gonna be a long, long one, but story time. Okay, so had a really shitty childhood. Bounced around my family members a lot. Dad wasn't in my life. All that stuff. Alcoholic family wasn't good, and I didn't have a lot of friends in school. I got bullied a lot. I didn't have many friends, and going into high school, I pretty much only had like one real friend. Like I couldn't get the little ass hat out of my house. He ate all my food, kept playing all my games, and he was a total little pothead, and I loved him to death and whatnot. But he lived down the road from me, and he was like the only kid who understood me. And we'd lay up at night talking about the future and how we were going to go to college together for game design. And my 18th birthday was rolling up, and we were gonna get pizza, and he was gonna come over, and we were gonna hang, play some Diablo. And that day on my 18th birthday, I decided not to go to school. I was doing like online classes because I was flunking out of school because I was a little shithead. I didn't give a shit about life and whatnot. And so I was doing online classes to catch up. And he got kicked out of school, and he was going there too. And so he was getting caught up with classes. And that day, um I wasn't in school, and there was a substitute teacher, and he got into a fight with another kid. He was smart mouthing the teacher, and he ended up getting kicked out of class, and he had been told that if he got kicked out again that he was going to get expelled, and his parents were going to, like, I don't know, like, it was just a big mess. And he ended up getting kicked out, and his mom dumped him off at home, and I don't know what went on between them, but he was just at the end of his rope. And he ended up offing himself that day on my birthday. And I felt so horrible about it the rest of my life for years, because I feel like if I had just been at school that day, I could have kept him out of trouble. And, everything would have turned out all right. And, we were going to go to college together. And it didn't work out. So I try to do something with my life that would have made him proud. And I mean, the little shit loved video games, so I figure he would have been happy that I have been making a living doing this. So I just try my hardest, to be a person that I know that he would have respected. So yeah, so there you have it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and I'm very sorry that that happened for you. I don't know if you're paying attention to chat or not, but there's a shit ton of hearts going on for you right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I tell this to everybody: you can't blame yourself for someone else's actions. Um, And I mean, what you're doing right now is amazing. And the fact that your friend was a huge gamer, I am sure that he's looking down on you right now saying, "Way to go, Abby, you're awesome." So we love you. So many hearts for you. Um, and everybody's like, "I just want to hug him right now." Yeah. So much love for you, man. And, thank you again for sharing that with us. I know that was hard, but it really does let us know a little bit more about you. And see, guys, this is
Yeah.
what I mean by this isn't something that you would get to know Ab on his own stream, because it's not like he's just going to be playing a video game and be like, all right, let me tell you the story. Um, this
Well, I
is
did once before when I was feeling really emotional, but that was a long time ago.
right. But so this is a way for you guys to get to know him a little bit better. So keep these questions up. They're amazing. Super Soaker X69 says, how was it for you when you first began streaming? How long did it take you to get your first 1,000?
Oh, like I was saying earlier, I like I didn't want to full time stream. I was still working delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut because that was the only job I could work because of my feet swelling and stuff. I mean, like, my feet, if I'm on them for too long, they swell up so bad, like they turn like darkish purple. I cannot walk, and I end up in the ER choking down Vicodin and anti-inflammatory pills. It's a big mess. And so delivering pizzas part time, like, a day on, day off, day on, day off, was all I could stomach. And the only reason I could do it was because I could sit get down and deliver pizzas and rest my feet a little bit. And even that was hard on me. But I started streaming just for fun and to make a little bit of money on the side and whatnot. And like I was saying, I figured once I started making a whole bunch of money streaming early on that, well, I make more money streaming than I make delivering pizzas. I could put less wear and tear on the car and on my body, and I get to have fun doing it. So why the hell not just stay home and stream? So I just decided to fully commit to it. And I mean, early on, I was going about it in like a really scummy way because I didn't really care. I was like shit posting my Twitch link on the Blizzard forums. I got yelled at by a couple of community managers. Please don't do that. They get mad. They don't like that. And like in game and whatnot. And yeah, I was a little shit and I kind of cheesed a lot of views early on. But I mean, like I said, I was also really popular in game too because a lot of people knew me. They're like, oh, that Abathur guy with hundreds of Abathur games and stuff. And I think it probably took me like a month maybe max to get to 1,000. And I mean, and you also
Wow.
have to understand this about me too. I had never watched a Twitch stream before becoming a Twitch streamer ever. I actually barely knew what Twitch was. And so I just started doing it on a whim. I didn't know how streaming worked. I didn't know how people behaved. I didn't know what kappa meant. Like I didn't know anything. I just Googled OBS settings and just fired up my stream and started playing. And the best part was I had a shitty internet connection. Like I had like I want to say 10 megabytes down and 1 megabyte up, and my streams look like 360p quality on the best of days. So it was like watching, like if you watch a stream in mobile quality, that's how my streams look always. And so it was really hard to get people to consistently stay. So the fact that I actually still was pulling like 20 to 30 viewers with a shit looking stream was actually really, really funny because I didn't think that that was actually good back then. But I mean, now where I'm at now, I know a lot of people would like murder to pull 20, 30 viewers. And I did it on such a shit quality too. I was like, damn, I look back, I must have actually been a really good streamer in the beginning. But yeah, eventually, like I was getting a lot of people who'd come in and they're like, oh man, I want to watch, but I can actually count the pixels, yeah, but this is unwatchable. And so people would follow and be like, I'll come back whenever you upgrade your internet and whatnot. So I had lots of people who'd follow, but they just wouldn't stick around. And then the day that I moved, like I hyped it up, and I got fiber internet. And the day that I got fiber internet, my view count went from like 18 the night before to like over 100 the next day because
Damn.
all those people that wanted to watch me in good quality just showed up at the same time. And my chat, oh my god, was just and I'm like, oh god, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was so bad at keeping up. I didn't have a second monitor. This is great. I didn't have a second monitor or a smartphone. I had to alt tab mid game to read my chat. I
Oh,
was playing at like fucking competitive level and alt tabbing constantly mid game to answer my chat.
oh my
And people were
goodness.
like, "You're one of the most interactive streamers I've ever watched." That was why people like me too, because I talk to everyone. And I'm sitting here alt tab, trying to keep up. So, I mean, if I can do it with a shit internet connection and alt tabbing, anybody can do it if you put enough heart into it, I feel. Like,
Right.
it was so rough, but I made it work.
That's funny.
Yeah, I still don't have another monitor or a phone or anything. I actually use a script that puts a popped out Twitch chat window over my games that I play, and I make it transparent so that I can read my chat in real time without having to look away from the game. But I'm too poor for a monitor.
I used to have something like that that I used to use. I can't remember what it was called, but it was so annoying because every time somebody would say something, it would ding, and then when I
Oh
got to the
God.
point where my chat was just like steadily going, I'm like ding ding. I'm like, Shh, I can't. It was annoying. And then it was like every time somebody would say OMG or OMFG, it would do this creepy little laughter.
Huh.
I
Wow.
can't remember what it was called. I'm sure Ghost can remember maybe because he has the best memory in the world. Love you, Ghost. All right, B wants to know what's your favorite music?
My favorite music, honestly, just about all I listen to is Cell Dweller and Tool. Those are like the only two musical groups that I really get my rockers off on. That's all I need in life.
And she also says, what's your favorite show?
My favorite show?
Twitch.
Um, the only TV show that I've watched in like ages is Dark Matter, sci-fi, space pew pew stuff, and I like it. If you haven't watched Dark Matter, you should check it out. It's pretty decent.
Mm. Bruckner Rob says, if you had to live in an anime universe, which would you live in? Why? And would you be a hero or villain in said universe?
Probably the anime Overlord because he was a bad guy and his mates had the biggest boobs. So that was some good stuff. Yeah, that one. That's the one I pick.
That's funny. Because big boobs are important, right?
Yes, yes, important.
That's right. Ghost, my adorable partner, says, when did you get partnered? And if you did, how many times did you get rejected? He already did get partnered. Now, how many times did you get rejected when you got partnered?
Okay, so when first off, when it comes to that, there was a streamer who, as far as I'm aware, doesn't actually stream anymore.
Mm,
And he did not like me at all because he's seen that I jumped up to like 100 plus viewers suddenly. And every day I was pulling 100 plus viewers. He was always claiming on his stream about how I was a view botter and I was a cheater and this and that. And like, he hated the shit out of me and I applied to Twitch for partnership, and I kept getting denied because they claimed that there were view bots in my channel. And I'm like, well, I'm not view botting, so someone else was view botting my channel. And I had no problems with anyone in the Twitch community because I was so new, I didn't even have time to make enemies. But he was the only person that was vocally shit talking me, and he was a big streamer. I mean, thousands of viewers and stuff, and I guess seen me as competition. But I found it convenient that like after he stopped streaming, I immediately got partnered because the viewbot problem had resolved itself, and I'm like, huh, yeah, seems legit.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as far as how long it took me, um, I now know exactly how the partnering process works, and I actually use that information to help some people that I know that are close to getting partnered get partnered.
Hmm.
I actually was talking to my Twitch rep the other day and pulled him into a stream because the guy was complaining that he meets the criteria but got rejected, and he even told the streamer himself that he meets the criteria, and I helped him write up an email to support, and I'm going to get him a sub button because he's awesome, and I've helped a couple
Aw.
other people get partnered. It's like I know to a T exactly how it works and what they look at and what the most important thing is. So I let big streamers know so that they can take advantage of that and get partnered faster. Because it took me, I want to say, 4 or 5 months to get partnered. I probably could have done it in 3 if I had known. It's as simple as that.
Can you share that information with us? Because I know a lot of people in here are very skeptical about, oh, well, it says this and you have to have this. And so, what exactly does Twitch look for when they're looking for acceptance?
In your dashboard, whenever you're logged into Twitch, if
Hmm.
you go over to your bottom left and you click and you go to your dashboard, if you go to your dashboard and then you go over to, it's got a bunch of options. If you don't stream, then you probably haven't really gone in there. But if you go to your stats, they 100% all they really care about as far as like, partnering you from views. You want to set it to show your concurrent viewers, and then set it by daily. And then every single day, your concurrent view count needs to exceed 100. As long as you are getting a consistent 100 view count day after day after day for a decent amount of time, they will partner you. Now, you also have to be kind of unique in a sense too. Like, I mean, they don't want to partner like 20 people that all do the exact same thing, have the same layout, the same kind of personality, but to meet that criteria that's 100% what they want, you have to have 100 concurrent viewers. Now, the thing that I didn't understand until after I got partnered, and the trick that I let streamers know, is that it doesn't track it based on whatever game you're playing. So like for example, if you stream for an hour and you have 50 viewers that entire time, like from the second you hit start and then you end at the end and you had a perfect 50 the whole time, your dashboard will show 50. So it's like an average of the entire day of how many viewers you've had. So as long as you held 100 or more for the majority of the stream, it will hit the 3-digit number. So the way that I was screwing myself, and the way that I see a lot of streamers that are trying to get partnered screw themselves, is they'll play like, Grand Theft Auto or whatever game, and they have like 150 viewers. They think they're set. And then later in the day, they want to unwind. So they play like Outlast, and they only have like 30 viewers. So they're playing Outlast for 3 or 4 hours. That tanks your concurrent viewer count for the whole day. They don't look at it and be like, oh, yeah, when they play this game, they get 150 viewers. That's fine. It tanks that stat, and that is all they care about. So you have to consistently pull over 100 viewers. That's all that matters. So I let a bunch of people know that, and they're like, oh, that sucks. That means I can't play other games and this and that. And then as soon as they start playing just that game, and if their view count drops below 100, they stop streaming to keep it up high. They get partnered in no time. And I've helped a couple people get partnered with that. It's really shitty. It's a stupid system, but that's just how it works. And I mean, and once I found out how it worked, I got partnered real quick. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Gamer, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to my madness. Make sure you follow my partner, Ghost GT27. He's the other half of the Safe Zone. We do all of this together, helping to promote small streamers and help you guys grow your community. So make sure you follow him so you could get in on this as well. Um, Bab wants to know, what was your first console?
My first console,
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember if the Sega Genesis came before or after the PlayStation. I want to say before, but I know I had a Sega. I used to rock out on Vector Man all the time. I'd come home from school and play games like that, but I know I had like a Sega Genesis, an SNES, PlayStation 64. I never owned a PS2 though. I didn't get to be a Kingdom Heart kid when that was going on, but yeah,
Aww.
I missed out. But
Kingdom Heart was amazing.
I actually, it's odd because when I was younger, I owned almost every single console and loved console games. But then the second that I started to get to play PC and I played like Diablo and stuff like that, I couldn't go back because just being able to play online with other people, like consoles didn't really have that capability way back when. And so being able to play online with other people was really fun, and it just sucked me in and I couldn't go back. So I don't play console
Mm.
anymore.
That's funny. um, Hi, Dad. Republica says, I'm about to drop a large amount of cash making a PC due to stream in a serious capacity. Do the current CPUs handle the load of intense gaming alongside encoding video, or should I go for two machines in order to split the burden?
Eh, it's hard to say. I mean, depending on the game, really. It depends on what you'd want to stream. If you're playing like the new top of the line games like Battlefield 1 and whatnot, you're gonna have a hell of a time getting it to run really well because I mean, like my computer isn't, like I said, the best. My graphics card is really the bottleneck of my setup, but I have a really decent i7 CPU, and I still end up hitting like 85 to 90% CPU usage when streaming while playing some more CPU intensive games. And if it
That's
goes beyond,
high.
yeah, exactly, it's really high. And that's playing like stuff like when I was in the Battlefield 1 beta and some other games that are like poorly optimized and whatnot. So it can get up really high. But it doesn't always impact the performance of the stream per se. But if you've got like a more middle end computer, you're most likely gonna have issues and whatnot. Yeah, I mean a 6600. I have like an i7 like 3600 or something with like 3.6 gigahertz, and I can play most stuff just fine without any real issues. I just need to get a better graphics card because I have to turn everything down on like low and medium just to get 60 FPS. So it'll be heavenly the day that I manage to get like a 1060 and turn everything on high. I'll be like, this is the eye candy.
That's awesome. And Republica, just from my standpoint, I dropped just under $1,300 at Micro Center. I don't know if you live on the East Coast or not, but I went to Micro Center and got all the parts and spent about just a little under 1,300. That included my keyboard, my mouse, my camera. and the entire rig with one monitor. And honestly, there isn't a single game that I cannot play. Ghost, if you could post that exclamation point stats, I'd appreciate that. Then you could kind of see what I put in my PC. And literally, my CPU usage is fucking beautiful. I'm only running at 14%, 90% of the time. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing. I never go over like 20%. So just, I mean, it's a good way to save money. I had
Yeah,
somebody build
built
it for me.
Yeah, building your own is far better than having like a name brand company build yours. Like
Yes.
don't buy into the hype of like buying an Alienware computer.
Oh
You're gonna pay an
God.
extra. Yeah, well, I was dating a person way back when, and she bought the computer that I have now, and it was like $2,200. And I mean, you could have built it for like a grand probably, but it wasn't my money, and she wasn't interested in parting and stuff. So I just took what I could get since she got it for me. So
Right.
but I mean, if I had the money and, I would definitely rebuild my own custom. But I mean, it gets me by. It plays what I want to play for the most part.
Right.
So,
And also, don't be like my partner. I love you, Ghost, but don't be like my partner and order one offline. He ordered one offline. It cost him a fortune, and it he got it and had issues with it as soon as he got it. Had to
ouch.
turn it back, had to send it back, and then when he got it back, it had a crack in the tower.
Wow.
So yeah, so don't order one offline. Go to a specialty shop, get the parts, find an amazing nerd like one of us. Find an amazing nerd, and I say that with the best of love, to build it for you if you can't build it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Biggs wants to know, what is your
Oh
favorite pair
God.
of socks between Hello Kitty or Monster Trucks?
I don't know. I mean, if we go Hello Kitty, I get to feel like a pretty princess, but Monster Trucks, I get to just plow stuff. So I'm gonna have to go Monster Trucks.
And plowing stuff is always fun,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Right. Leave said, if you could ask your future self one question, what would it be?
What game do I play to get all the mad views?
XX Snow Angel says, what about zombies? Would that be
Zombies
a
being
good
COD
game?
zombies?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Would that be a good game to stream?
It's hard to say. I mean, because you have to think when you're picking a game to play to try and get viewers to come in, you have to think in a sense of why should somebody watch you? And I don't say that in a mean way. You have to ask yourself, why would people want to come into my stream to watch me? What do I have to offer to these viewers that they won't get in like the other 20 streams sitting beside mine in the catalog who are also trying to play zombies because they want to get viewers? You have to have either like an amazingly outgoing personality and be able to make people laugh so hard that they crap their pants every few minutes, or you have to have some kind of gimmick that brings people in. I mean, if you do like makeup and pretend you're a fucking zombie while you play, that might bring people in. But I mean, if you're just playing casually a lot of the time and you don't have a really engaging title and a really professional looking stream and stuff, a lot of people are just going to look over your stream and pick someone else that has more engaging content and whatnot. And a lot of it, like I said, comes down to just you being very entertaining and having something special. You got to stand out. That's the biggest thing.
Right. Um, and Nemo, I'll ask your question in a second, but so you know, primarily a horror game streamer, and I play other games too just to save my heart. So I Ate Nemo says horror games seem to attract more people to my channel, but I don't know if I should continue that path because my heart can't take it. What's your standpoint on that?
I mean, you got to do what's best for you. I mean, it kind of comes down to now, are you saying like you have a legitimate heart problem? Or is it like, you just get too scared and you don't like it? I mean, because I get kind of scared of horror games and I try to stray away from them a little bit. It's fun to get spooked now and then. But I mean, if they're really not your kind of thing and you can't really be entertaining during it, you're probably not going to be like the next Markiplier or PewDiePie. So I wouldn't even really go into it thinking that. But I mean, if you do genuinely pull a nice audience and they love you for that, you have to kind of think now what's more important, you having having legitimate fun or you building a following. Because if you're doing it as a hobby and to have fun, play whatever the hell you want. And, people will come and stay if you're having fun. But if you're trying to build a following and trying to get partnered, unfortunately, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do what pulls the views. Then once you get that sub button, you do whatever the hell you want, honestly. That's what I'm doing now. But I mean, if you're genuinely in it to get partnered, you gotta find whatever works best for you to build an audience. But like I said, I mean, if you're just streaming casually for fun, like a lot of people do, you don't gotta worry about your view count. Don't worry about what the hell you're playing. People are gonna casually walk in and be like, "Wow, this guy's pretty chill." And you'll make friends that way. But yeah, it just kind of depends what you want out of streaming, honestly. But I mean, if you like horror games and you can stomach playing tons of horror games, go for it. But if you can't, then don't force yourself. I mean, you're not going to have fun in the long run.
Exactly, exactly. And horror games are amazing. I get to the point because that's what I primarily play, and I get to the point where I'm like, okay, well, what are you gonna play next? Because I've played them all, and
Exactly. And
like,
and that's a problem with horror.
Outlast isn't out yet, and
Yeah, that's also another problem with maining horror games
hmm
is that there's horror games are either really good or really shit. There's almost no like middle ground when it comes
mm-mm.
to horror games, and there's just not enough mainstream horror games that come out fast enough to really be able to be a full-time horror channel. And then
Right.
you're digging through the barrel to play either really shit indie ones or you're going back and playing like PS1 Silent Hill and stuff where there's almost nobody watching. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right, so Sinister says, at this level of streaming for myself with close to about 400 followers, what would be a good affordable giveaway?
Um it's hard to say. I mean, if you're looking to give away stuff for free, that you don't have to personally put money into, you can sometimes reach out to developers and whatnot and tell them, like, hey, I'm a small time streamer and I'd really like the opportunity to do a giveaway on my channel. Would you be able to help me out and stuff? And a lot of the times developers aren't gonna bite your hand off if you ask. I mean, they're not gonna like sue you or something. So I mean, I find that with streaming, that's one of the biggest things is you gotta be outward and approach people and companies and just ask for things and try to work with them. And you'd be surprised what kind of stuff you'll get back. Sign up for like Keymailer and whatnot, and a bunch of different game sites, and you can do giveaways with those if you get ones you don't like. And I mean, if you do have money, just ask people what they'd be interested in getting. And I mean, like, if you play like a MOBA, do skin giveaways or give away copies of whatever game you're playing. But there's all sorts of different things that you can do. Yeah.
Just be careful for all of you guys that are small. Be very careful doing giveaways because what happens, especially if you do big giveaways, like game cards or like gift cards or stuff like that, be very careful with that because what's going to happen is you're going to say, I'm giving away a $50 gift card. You're going to get 30, 40 followers. They're going to come in and follow you for that card. When they don't win, they're going to get salty. They're going to drop their follow and they're going to leave and they're never going to come back.
Yeah.
So be
Yeah.
very careful with that.
I agree. Never, ever, ever, honestly, try to grow a fan base through giveaways.
Yeah.
Ever. It will give you like a one night growth spurt and it's gone the next day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Giveaways are a way to reward your existing audience. Don't
Right.
use it to bring in new ones.
Exactly. That's the reason why the Safe Zone uses Safe Zone points. So based on how many points they have is how many tickets they can get. So I agree. The reward system is much better than trying to bring them in because that's not ever going to work. Because then
Yeah.
what's going to happen when you can't afford to do another giveaway? I mean, you're going to be stuck, and people are going to expect a giveaway all the time.
Yeah.
So Maximus says, have you ever thought about YouTube?
Now, are we talking YouTube streaming or YouTube videos? If we're
I'm
talking,
guessing streaming.
well, it's against my contract to stream on YouTube. With Twitch, once you get partnered, they own all of your streaming content, and you're not allowed to stream for any other service, just in case anybody didn't actually know that. So you can get your channel shut down if you do that. But I did do YouTube videos, and as far as I know, I'm still allowed to do YouTube videos. I dump my VODs on there sometimes, whatnot. But I mean, I was doing Abathur guides before I started streaming, and I would get between 10 to 20,000 views on my Abathur videos, and I ended up with like 25, maybe like between 2,500 and like 3,000 followers on YouTube. Wasn't very big. And I mean, like, the payout for YouTube is so horribly low. Even pulling like 20K views on a bunch of my different videos that I was putting out almost every day, I'd get like $5 from YouTube at the end of the month. I'm like, this ain't worth it. Especially on my old slow internet. It'd take me like 10 hours to upload like a 10-minute video.
Oh,
So yeah, it
jeez.
was god awful. So I ended up giving that up to stream, and yeah, it was a much better payoff in the long run.
Yeah. And a Bagler says, "What's your favorite game ever?"
Oh, that would definitely be Neverwinter Nights. It's a old BioWare game that's like Dungeons and Dragons rule set, all sorts of classes and shenanigans. It's an absolute romp. You can get it on GOG for like 5, $10 now. It's absolutely worth playing. It's so much fun.
Let's see here. I have to get past all these hearts. Wow, I'm just now getting to the hearts. That's crazy. You guys are amazing. Keep these questions going. We have plenty of time, so hopefully you guys are all learning everything you need to learn. Again, I cannot thank you enough for being here with me tonight. You're helping so many people out. And speaking of YouTube, this VOD will be on my YouTube channel by tomorrow. So make sure that you drop over there and get it so that you can have a copy of it for yourself. Sinister already asked that question. You guys, please don't ask duplicate questions. I promise you, I will get to your question. There's just so many of them, and with explanations, it takes a little time to get there. So please, please don't ask duplicates. Super Circer 69 says, "How long have you been streaming?"
Since July, late July of last year, so a little over a year, maybe year and a half at this point.
Jacana says, "I have issues speaking English. Do you think that has an impact on viewers or not?"
Well, the big question would
She's
be, is
French Canadian.
French Canadian? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, usually you want to try and focus on streaming in your native language, because a lot of people are assholes and will bully you for poor, language skills. But I do know a buddy of mine who does also stream Heroes of the Storm, who he speaks German and English pretty well, and he'll actually say a lot of stuff in German and then say it all again in English so that he can maintain a dual language stream, which is a really big advantage if you can do dual language streams, because you get to cater to a large audience like that. But if you can't speak English really really well, I honestly would just stick to doing French. But if it's not that bad, then don't beat yourself up over it. I mean, people are just assholes, and I wouldn't let them get to you. Really, just do whatever makes you happiest.
Yeah, she actually speaks very good English. It's just sometimes she gets a little mixed up on words.
uh
Yeah, so, and I actually, Jacana, on that note, I've met quite a few people through Twitch that will say, "Look, I use Twitch to practice my English." I know Russians that will say, "I'm practicing my English. Please don't post in Russian, post in English." Um,
uh
so that's a good thing too. And Grothsman, you can give your link to my mod GhostGT27, and he will take a look at that first. Be a Ninja said, "What's your favorite food?"
My favorite food, lasagna. I love lasagna.
Mm.
It's so good. Close second would be like chicken fried rice and sweet and sour chicken, but lasagna takes the cake. I actually ask for lasagna instead of cake on my birthdays.
Now, are you? And I know this is a really awkward question, but I have to ask because I can't ever decide which one I like better. Are you like one of those that one day you really want the meaty, cheesy lasagna, and the next day you want one of the really the vegetable lasagnas, or are you just meat and cheese?
Just meat and cheese. I'm not against putting some other stuff in it though. Sometimes like put some bacon in there, and
Mm.
you can even like toss in like some weird shit and change out the pasta sauce for like pizza sauce. You can put
Huh.
pepperonis in it. Yeah, you can have like pizza lasagna. It's actually not that bad.
All right, you're like hell yeah. I see. I've made it with all kinds of stuff. Like I
Uh,
oh god, I
that's what makes
completely.
lasagna great. You can put like you can just dump random shit in lasagna and it'll taste good.
Right. When my nephew was still alive, but I don't know, a few months before he died, he wasn't allowed. He had cancer, and he was at the hospital. He wasn't allowed to have a lot of pastas and stuff. And he's a huge pasta fan,
uh,
and he wanted lasagna really bad. So I went and I took like sweet potatoes, and I made lasagna noodles out of sweet potatoes, and I made him like a complete meat and cheese vegetable lasagna, just like it was about this big, that I
uh.
made just for him. And he's like, "This is the best shit I've ever fucking had." It's amazing. The Missing Spartan says, as a Cell Dweller fan, have you heard of the Circle of Dust remasters for this year?
Yes, I've listened to a little bit of them. Honestly, I'm not a giant fan of them. Um, I I've listened to a lot of Clayton's earlier stuff and I've listened to a lot of Clayton's newer stuff, and I'm not honestly a fan of a lot of the older stuff nor the newer stuff. Honestly, like my most favorite albums that he's done was Cell Dwellers, End of an Empire, and I want to say, oh my god, the name's gonna slip my mind. I'm gonna feel so fucking dumb if I say it wrong too. Hold on. Wish Upon a Black Star, and End of an Empire were my favorite albums, but I mean, a lot of his like side, uh, like music groups that he does, including like, well, I don't remember if he does Blue Stolly or not, but it's pretty similar. But like a lot of his side music that he does, where it's not explicitly Cell Dweller, like I want to say Scandroid and stuff like that. Like I'm not a fan of it. I don't hate it, but it's not Cell Dweller to me, at least audio wise, and I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we're getting into the boob comment that we had earlier.
Oh boy.
What about big moobs? Are big moobs as equally important?
Absolutely. I mean,
He's like,
well,
what?
well, I mean, like more than a handful's a waste, but I mean, if you're not using both hands, you're not really having fun. So let's be honest.
Oh God, Brooklyn Bound Boy 25. How does it feel to be partnered on Twitch?
Stressful. I mean, it's really not as easy as a lot of people try to glamorize it to be, at least not as like a smaller partnered streamer. Like I'm not like Lyric or something. I don't make like 30 grand a fucking month just from subs and have like 20 mansions or something. I mean, I scrape a living out of, being a partnered streamer, and it's just, if it's more work in a sense than before you get partnered, because before you get partnered, you just play the game and have fun, but after you get partnered, you're like, okay, well now I want to sell subs and I want to make a living doing this, and I need to keep growing so I can continue to increase my income. And so you have to sit, and it turns into like, okay, well, which games are growing, which ones are falling, which, networking relationships should I nurture, and what bridges should I burn, which sponsors should I contact. And, when you're a small streamer, you're just like, man, I wonder what skin I'm going to put on my gun in COD today, But when you're a partner, it's like so much more shit and all the emails, and you just drown in people talking to you. And, and especially like with me too, because like a lot of partnered streamers, they won't even take the time of day to talk to a lot of smaller streamers, and they get pissed at people that try to talk to them and network with them. And like I stay up late at night with like 4 hours of sleep, and I'm up at 2 3 in the morning sitting in small streamer streams, and I'll look at their panels, their titles, their VODs. I critique, like their everything about their streams, and I give them suggestions and feedback and help them improve their stream. And I like to host small streams and just hang out with them and whatnot and have a good time with them. Like I love putting back into other people, And because to me that's the biggest thing is making friends and helping other people out. I just love making other people happy. So I feel like in a way that might be a little bit why I haven't really just kind of blown up, because I haven't just put all my focus on myself, because I spend a lot of time just dicking around helping other people. But I feel like it's worth it in the end, because I mean, I feel like on Twitch, if everybody were a lot nicer to each other, it would be a much nicer place. But there's just a lot of drama on Twitch, and I try to stay out of it. It's not fun.
Well, I'm glad you found the safe zone because that's what our main focus is on, is making Twitch a better place for all these streamers. Leafs wants to know, what would your dream car be?
Uh, hmm. I mean, I'm not like a big car person, believe it or not. I'm like the most unguy guy ever. I'm not handy. I don't like cars. I'm not into sports. Um, I mean, like if it were like, what would your dream mount be in World of Warcraft or something? I would be like, oh, I know, girl, but I have no idea, honestly. Something that gets me from point A to point B with good gas mileage, even if it's hideous.
That's amazing. That's a great answer. And Jacana, to answer your question, and then I'll ask Ab, this VOD will be on YouTube and it will run in a command called exclamation point watch Ab when this is all over with. That way you can reference back to this to get all the answers to all your questions later. But Shakina wants to know, would you make a help partner video to have at hand for later?
I've been thinking about doing it. It's just, to me, I feel like general advice is general advice. And I mean, if you Google, you can find a lot of general advice. But I feel that like general advice isn't going to help people in their specific situations, which is why I like to take it to a more personal level and actually get to know streamers and actually sit and watch their VODs. Because, I might watch one streamer who does interact with his chat and he's a really nice person, but I mean, his VODs look like something a toddler shit out on a piece of paper. And, I can't just say like, and like I like to help people with their own specific problems, even if that is time consuming. And I mean, like, yeah, I could probably make like a summary video, and I've thought about doing it. I probably will do it here sometime soon, but I just feel like it's more meaningful to get to know the person and help them on a more personal level, even if that means scrolling through 20,000 requests. Like, hey, can you do my channel now? Can you do my channel now? I've got a backlog of channels I'm still trying to get to critique and whatnot, but I mean, it's nice to help the little guys out, and they definitely love and appreciate the help and stuff. So, but yeah, I'll probably make a video eventually. Don't worry, I'll get it.
Johnny the Bear asks, what was the first game you ever remembered playing?
That I remembered playing. Oh God. Well, because I'd say PC game was StarCraft, but as far as like console goes, which predated a lot of PC gaming, was, I want to say, an God damn it. It's because I know I played other games other than Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but that game is the most prominent one coming up in my mind because that game was just pissing me off as a kid. Ooh, shit. I don't know. We'll just go with Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I'm gonna blow a fucking brain vessel trying to think back that far. I was still pooping my pants back then, I think. So
Oh
yeah,
my
it's hard.
goodness.
It's hard to remember way back when.
Mm. And that's another. Again, guys, please don't duplicate your questions. I promise you we'll get to
Yes.
them.
Duck Hunt was the shit. Yes.
Um, let's see. Snow wants to know. Well, we already asked that question too. Do you have any unusual fears or phobias?
Other than the one that I mentioned earlier, which is just being totally alone, I also have a really big fear of deep water. Like water levels in games scare me. So like playing Subnautica is like literal nightmare fuel for me. It's helped me get over my fear a little bit, but because when I went swimming at the public pool here in town when I was a bit younger, a kid jumped off a diving board and landed on top of me, and like I got sunk way deep under the water and I couldn't get up. And the lifeguard was a kid who used to bully me in school, and he was laughing it up and wouldn't jump in to help me. And I almost blacked out by the time I made it up. And so ever since then, I've been really scared of like deep water. Like I'm fine with like water in general, and I'm okay to swim, but I get kind of anxious whenever there's a lot of people around when I'm swimming now and stuff because I'm always scared that I'm gonna get drowned. So yeah, and yeah, depth, please God no.
Mm. Super Soaker wants to know, and I know you've answered this a few times, but there are constantly new people in here. But
Fun.
Super Soaker wants to know, how long have you been streaming?
Streaming totally since like late July of last year, and I got partnered. I think this month was I want to say October 14th was when I got partnered because we've been getting our 12-month resubs this month. So it's been partnered
Nice.
for a year, and then I started in July. And July was what, like 4 months ago, I think, if
Mm,
I'm thinking the numbers correctly. Um, yeah, wait. So August, September, October. Okay, so it took me about 3 months to get partnered. But yeah, I could have got partnered sooner if I hadn't screwed up and known how to get partnered. But yeah,
that's
which is
funny.
still really fast, I guess. A lot of people I've heard, try years and years and don't get it. And then I get it in like 3 months. And I didn't even watch Twitch beforehand. And I feel so bad. Like, I feel like, in a sense, I kind of got cheated out of that experience of really earning it because I feel like it came a little too easily to me. And I don't say that in like a high egotistical asshole way. Like, I like earning things. I hate having that kind of shit handed to me, and it came so quick and easy, and I was still super like thrilled by it. I slammed my hands on my desk when I got my acceptance email, and I was crying. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. And like, but I've now later, after actually talking to streamers and just seeing how it is in general, like so many people struggle for so long and don't even get it, and it feels so bad because I just didn't have that struggle. It just kind of happened for me, and so it feel kind of unfair because I engage with so many streamers now, and I know so many streamers who are absolutely awesome. They have the greatest personalities, and they just don't have big audiences, and it makes me feel bad because I mean I have the personality of a potato, and I got partnered, and it makes me feel
You have a
bad.
great personality.
So I go out of my way to help other people because I know that there are a lot of people that absolutely deserve to get partnered that just have something that's holding them back and whatnot. And so I want to help as many people as I possibly can because that's what makes me happy, is making other people happy. So
Snow wants to know, should I put boobs in my title?
Uh, hmm. See, I believe that when it comes to making titles, like clickbait stuff's only going to get you a view for about 10 seconds, and then those people are going to leave. You want your titles to be very, like, and this is what I tell a lot of streamers I talk to. Your titles need to stand out and tell people exactly what they're getting themselves into. I mean, so like if you're playing like League of Legends or something, and you're like diamond and you're playing ranked and you're like tryharding or something, don't put like playing League of Legends lol, because no one's gonna give a shit. But if you put like diamond 180 carry tryhard night, people are more inclined to want to tune in than if you put something that's just like casual that like 900 other people have in their title too. You really got to make it stand out. So like clickbait sure might encourage some people to click it, but odds are once the Joker gimmick or whatever wears off, people are just going to leave it. It's not really going to keep people. Plus, I'm pretty sure Twitch would get upset about
Right.
that.
I think I personally, I'd like to know what you think of my favorite title. My favorite title that I like to use quite often is viewer discretion is advised.
Well, I mean, it's quite literal and to the point.
I mean, that's one of my favorite titles. I use it a lot, especially when I'm playing something PvP like Doom, because we get really vocal during those
Oh yeah,
games.
makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Totally
Right?
with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nemo, I just get too scared. Oh, he was talking about the horror
The horror
games.
games. Ah, I feel you.
Yeah. Hi, Infamous. Sorry, we're just not good at this. Um, do you need to decorate the streams if you're a beginner to track viewers?
Um, you don't have to get crazy with it. I mean, honestly, there are a lot of people that don't like the overbearing overlays and flashy pop-ups and 20 currency bots and super glamorous panels and stuff. There are people that just want to go into a damn stream to watch a game. You know what I mean? But there are also a lot of people that have to have all those flashy, like, ooh, shiny, I'm getting money kind of things, to get them to stick around. So you just kind of have to figure out if you're just going to be focusing on like just the raw gameplay aspect, or if you want to go for more of like the keep people around by doing the little nickel and dime, like, oh, look at my overlay. Oh, if you donate, you get a flashy pop-up kind of a thing. But that can be viewed as clutter to a lot of people. So it's hard to say. I mean, there's honestly not one perfect thing that you can do with Twitch. You're not going to make everyone happy. You're going to piss someone off no matter what you do on Twitch. So just do what makes you happy. If you want, 90% of your stream to be glitter and shit and have a little game of Pac-Man in the bottom little corner, you do it. You do you, bro. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But
On a personal note, when you go into a stream, would you prefer to see like the simple overlay that just has like their name, and maybe this is my most recent follower, maybe a donation bar, or would you rather it be just here's my fucking picture overlay, here's my humongous overlay, this is like, you know what I mean? Like the ones that have their picture in one corner and then they've got the game in a corner and then they've got all this other clutter shit up above it. How do you prefer to view um, a game when it's in someone else's as an overlay?
yeah, exactly. Just think about what you as a viewer
No,
would
I'm
have fun.
asking you. How do you
Oh,
personally?
me?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I tried to be as objective versus subjective as possible. I
Hmm.
mean, in general, if someone's coming into your stream and half of your screen is like, say, in the top right corner, because I actually seen someone with this overlay and I kind of knocked them for it. And I was like, hey, you might not want this, just saying. But literally a fourth of his stream in the top right corner was his webcam, and then the other one fourth of the stream in the bottom right corner was his chat, and then he had his game just kind of like plopped on the left side. And I tell him, it's like, you want the game to be the focus of your stream. If you have a noisy overlay that's got shit flashing and scrolling and going all over, and your cam's too big and in a weird position, and you got chat on the side flowing constantly, it detracts from you watching the damn game. You want people to be able to enjoy the gameplay and be there for you and your personality. Honestly, I don't know why people put the chat on the screen to begin with. 'Cause chat's right there. You don't need another chat. I'm just saying. But yeah, but I mean, the more game space, the better I feel. But there are some people that might like that. I don't know. It's up to you. But it's hard to say because I've seen people with the weirdest fucking overlays that have like 100 viewers, and I've seen people with literally no overlay and webcam with 100 viewers. If you wonder, I mean, what? But you know what I mean. But you know what I mean.
Right. And something else that I love to tell and Ghost loves to tell everybody is camera placement is super super important.
Hmm.
Um, And as you guys know, I put for the interviews, I put myself on the right hand side, which is where I tell everybody don't put your camera. Because when you go in and you look at the games and you're searching for a game, chances are you're going to look for someone that has a webcam. If your camera is where I am right now in the bottom right hand corner, the game is going to cover you up. The reason I do it for interviews is because I want them to see who I'm interviewing, not me.
Yeah.
So that's a really good thing. What corner do you prefer to put your picture in?
Honestly, wherever I end up moving my camera to depends on whatever game I'm playing, because I try to put it in a position where it's not going to block as much of the overlay as possible. Like your health bars and your ammo counts and stuff like that. With Heroes of the Storm, you have a little character portrait down in the corner where your character's face is. And for a long time, I actually shrunk my camera down and moved it in there specifically. So my face was where the character's face normally is. And a lot of people like that, but a lot of people also complain. They're like, well, we can't see a whole lot of you. Like, we want to see more of you than just your face. But I always thought it was a really cool little gimmick since, I don't know, it's cute.
Right.
But generally, it's in the bottom left when possible. But if there's like information down there, I'll move it up a little bit, but I don't think I ever put it in a corner or something because I feel like your eyes are normally more inclined to take in what's in like the bottom left half of the screen as opposed to way up in the top right. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm weird.
Right. I agree. And see, that's like I said, that's one of the biggest things. So when people are like, I don't understand why I'm not getting viewers and their camera's over in the bottom right hand corner, one of the biggest things I say is move your camera over to the left and try that, and then all of a sudden they're starting to get viewers because it's
Yeah.
not covered up. Have you ever been banned from anywhere public?
Like a restaurant or something, I guess.
I'm guessing.
I don't think so. I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm like shadow banned from buying alcohol in Walmart, though. A manager told me I'm not allowed to buy alcohol there anymore because I tried to buy alcohol when my wife was with me and she's underage. They tried to card her, and I'm like, but the booze isn't for her. And they're like, we don't care. You're not buying alcohol here anymore. I'm like, okay. So it's like, I'll just go to one of the other 20 liquor places down the road. What a big fucking deal. But yeah, I don't know. It's such a stupid arbitrary thing. But no, I don't get in trouble. I'm not a troublemaker. Like I don't steal anything. I don't cause a ruckus or anything. Like when I was younger in like middle school, we used to go into like Kmart and get the big bouncy balls and like throw them at each other and knock shit over, but we were always sneaky and never got caught. So but because it's only illegal unless you get caught, you know what I
Right,
mean? So
exactly.
yeah.
And Warhaven says chicken on pizza, utter blasphemy within the Church of Zah, or a delicious topping.
Oh, chicken on pizza if it's bad or good? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all for like okay, if I'm gonna have chicken on pizza, it's gotta have barbecue on it, honestly. I
Mm.
like, but other than that though, I'm not a huge on chicken. Like if I want like a meat pizza, I usually just opt to leave chicken off. I'm more of like a pepperoni bacon meatball kind of guy, but I don't know, I'm weird. I'm a weird human being.
That's funny. We have this place down the street that makes pizzas, and they do a white pizza with like some kind of a buttery um, like topping on it, and then they do all the cheeses and veggies and the chicken, and then they take the barbecue sauce and like drizzle it over top of it while they cook it, and then when it's done, they drizzle more of it on top of it. It's
Oh Lord.
fucking delicious.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, Infamous says, my question is, would you, or as you grow, what's the number that you, hold on, what's the number one thing that you should avoid doing?
Um, Getting complacent, which is something that I did, and by that I mean like if, for example, you are doing something and you notice that you're getting growth, don't just assume that you can continue to only do whatever it is that you're doing and that you'll continue to get growth. Because, like, for example, with me, when I was streaming early on, I had my overlay the way it was, and I would get up in the morning, I would hit start stream, I'd throw on some music, I'd just play my game, hang out with the chat in my stream, go to bed, get up the next day, do the same thing. And that was the issue. It was just the same thing. I never changed anything. It was the same genres of music and the same commands, the same art, the same gameplay, the same everything. Like it gets stale after a while, and if you want to continue to entertain the same people, you have to come up with new stuff and you have to meet new people. I mean, you should always be networking and meeting new people and getting your name out there in new places and doing new things, even if it's just small things like, today I know I'm going to try and talk more, or I'm going to bring up this and try to engage chat around it, and or I want to try this in game to spice it up a little bit. Like always be doing something new, because if you're watching a TV show, if they rerun the same episode day after day, you're gonna get bored of it. You want new shit going on. So yeah.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Um, Bab wants to know what's the story behind your name?
Um, I made it that just because Abathur was the name of the character that I played in Heroes of the Storm, and 1613 is actually my BattleNet hashtag. So Abathur hashtag 1613 is my BattleNet name to add me as a friend.
I'll
Because you
have
can
to do
have the
that.
Yeah, so you can have the same name. So there's a bunch of people named Abathur, but only I am Abathur #1613. So, like, for example, if you're playing a game and you see someone named Abathur and he's cussing you out and being a shithole and he's bad at the game, you can just check the profile at the end and see it's not 1613, so it ain't me. So I just made it that on Twitch because, well, after every competitive game or rank game or whatever, people look at my profile, they see, oh, this guy's Abathur #1613. I wonder if he streams. You go on Twitch, there's a fucking guy named Abathur1613. I wonder if that's him. Yeah, so it's like free exposure when I play too. It makes it easy for
Right.
people to find my stream. So you want to try and have unified name branding everywhere so that it's very easy to locate you no matter where you go.
Yeah. Like mine for everything is Rochelle LD. Everything. Even my YouTube is the same. Let's see. Snow wants to know what are the games that get you the most views?
Me personally, I mean, obviously, Heroes of the Storm is my biggest one. There was a point in time when I'd pull maybe 400 or 500 views a day. Nowadays, it's between like 80 to 100. I can play other games, and depending on the games that I play and the time of day and what's going on, I'll pull anywhere between like 20 to 40. So, like, not a lot. But I mean, like, the more engaging the game is to watch and the more entertaining you are when you play it, the more people are going to want to stay. I mean, like, I personally like to play the stupid, like, sandbox survival games, just running around mining and collecting and crafting shit, but it's not super engaging for viewers to watch you mining and crafting and running around and shit. So a lot of people like to watch MOBAs and shooters and competitive games like that because there's always something flashy happening. People are like, oh, ooh, ah, nice headshot. Oh shit, you died. Like, a lot of people want something to happen constantly. And if you're playing slower games, you're only going to really keep people that are genuinely there for your attitude or people that are just absolutely insane and don't mind watching slow shit. So yeah, but yeah, but I mean, honestly, just play what you have fun playing, and you'll bring an audience that enjoys it too. And the people that are there for you are going to be the most important people in the long run, anyway.
Very, very true. Max says, thank you so much for that YouTube sub. I appreciate that, sweets. Leaves says, if you could join any music group, which would you want to join?
Uh, hmm, Probably Nickelback because everyone hates me anyway.
We're
Ooh, I'm just
fighting
kidding.
now.
I'm just kidding. I
You
said I'm
only said
kidding.
that. You only said that because you know from our conversation the other day, you know how much I despise Fuckleback.
Oh man, but anyway, no. I don't know because I'm not a very musical person. I mean, I'm a potato when it comes to touching any kind of instrument. I mean, I make a guitar sound like mayonnaise. So I don't know. I if Probably Tool because Tool's so fucking mellow. You could just Jones out to Tool all day and whatnot. But yeah, it's probably Tool. I wish they'd make more music. I'm sad now.
Aww. Brooklyn Bound Boy 25 says, what can I do to approve, or what can I do to, I'm guessing that means improve, to bring in more viewers?
It's hard to say like right now because I don't know your personality. I don't know what your stream looks like. But if you want to like send me a PM or something, I'll check your channel out later and give it a look over and give you some critique and whatnot and suggestions.
Hey, Brooklyn, I love you dearly, and I have personal suggestion for you. Hype. You need to be more hyped, sweetheart. When people come into your channel, be hyped about it. When you get rated, stop your freaking game and get hyped about it. When you show people that you're excited for them to be there, they're more apt to stay in your channel. And this goes for all of you guys. They're more apt to stay in your channel than not. Am I right?
Yeah, and playing on that, just to give you like a example, a streamer that I know, he plays Don't Starve Together all the time.
Mhm.
Anytime he gets a big host or something, he changes scene to a blown up thing of his webcam with this background, and he puts on this slow romantic porn music, and he just starts feeling himself, and he's like, "Oh baby, do you feel the love? I feel it," and stuff. And oh my God, his chat just gets wild, and it's so fucking funny. It just makes it worth hosting him to see him do that. Like,
Right.
if you've got got something special that gets your chat wild and stuff, you want to get people excited. Like you want people to donate and subscribe to you and host you. I mean, if you're just like, hey man, yeah, thanks, I guess. Yeah, cool, welcome.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's gonna want to continually do it. But I mean, if you get like, holy shit, like every time, like if you fucking like slinging shit and going crazy, people are gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's crazy. I'm gonna do it again. So yeah.
Yeah, and hype is absolutely one of the biggest things that are going to keep your viewers coming back. There have been times that we've gone in, and actually, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the VOD that I sent you of Z's interview.
Mhm.
But one of the things that he pointed out was when CGN was going on raids all the time, which of course you know they stopped doing that now. Um, when they were doing it a lot, there was one particular streamer that they popped into, and this they raided him with 100 or more people from CGN, and they all got banned, and the dude was pissed off that they were there. So of course he's never going to go back. Personally, there have been times that we've gone on raids and people are like, "Hey, yeah, thanks for being here," and then they just go back to playing their game.
Yeah.
Um, so the hype, man, hype, hype, hype.
You got to make people feel welcome. That's.
Exactly. Show that
Yeah.
love. Show that love. Let's see. And of course, Danny Boy, like I know everybody's pointed this out to you, but I'll point it out to you again, and I wouldn't have seen it had they not tagged me in it. Make sure that you tag me in a question so that I can see it. Otherwise, we will just skip right over it. He says, are there any people that have helped you grow with streaming?
Um, Grubby, he was an old like Warcraft 3 professional player. He used to drop me the occasional like 3K host back when I first started streaming a little ways into it. I never kept very many people though because of how bad my quality was. So honestly, like I felt like it really didn't actually have much impact. It's like it's like pouring water into sand. It just disappears because like, oh yeah, I just got a 3K host. Too bad my quality shit. No one's gonna watch. Woo. It's like I was like such a nice person and I was playing so well, but you could count the pixels on the screen, and so a lot of people are like, oh fuck that, and they left so fast. But I mean, yeah, I'm like I used to get the odd, like very sporadic host from some of the bigger Heroes of the Storm streamers, but that stopped. Like, I mean, I for the most part did it solo. I didn't have people constantly funneling me views and helping me out and giving me advice. I YOLO'd everything and just got really, really lucky with my stream. So hey, Grubby's not old, he's fabulous.
Leaves wants to know, have you ever been electrocuted?
I want to say yes once when I was turning on a light switch with wet hands after I'd washed my hands and not dried it because there was no paper towels. It shorted a little bit, and I was like, God damn it. But thankfully I didn't die, so that's good.
Obviously, because you're sitting here.
Yeah,
Are you a ghost?
maybe.
Can I stick my hand through you? Is it gonna work? Oh baby. The Black Knight says, does streaming campaign games like Halo or StarCraft help with bringing in getting new followers and viewers?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say so unless you have some kind of other gimmick going on. Because, like, for example, like using like a current example, like Gears of War 4 or whatever,
Mm.
whichever one it is just came out. I mean, like if you're like, man, I'm gonna play the campaign and get all these people to come watch me play the campaign. Everybody's played the damn campaign. Everyone's watched the campaign. Everyone knows what's going to happen in campaign. People tend to lean more towards watching multiplayer because multiplayer is sporadic, it's sudden, it's unpredictable. Once you've seen a story in a campaign, there's almost no reason to go back and watch it again. Unless you are specifically like speed running through it on like a really damn hard difficulty, Easter egg hunting, stuff like that. Unless you're doing something very special or you have something special that makes people want to watch you, like it's hard to really give you an example because I don't really know. But I mean, you got to have something that makes people want to watch you. If you're doing something that 500 other people have already done before, it's most likely that they're just going to go watch someone bigger do that. So, as a little person, it's very important that you find something to make yourself stand out and then grow on it. Like with me, it was my Abathur thing. I played a very unique hero. I played him a lot of games, and I played him only him. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, this guy only plays the shittiest hero in the game. I got to see how bad he is." And then they're like, "Oh wow, he's slightly above shit level. Awesome." And so, yeah, so that's how I grew a following, was that I had a gimmick. Now, getting a gimmick like that can be a curse too. You got to be careful with that, because like if you kind of get popular off one thing, if you try to deviate from that one thing, people are going to get pissed. I know this from personal experience. People don't like it when you try to get away from what they followed you for in the first place. So you got to be careful about that too. But yeah, it's all about standing out. That's the biggest thing.
Johnny the Bear says, "Would you ever consider including your wife in your streams, or would she consider coming into your stream?"
Yeah, I mean, she's never like really been directly on the stream before, but we banter every day whenever I'm streaming. It's mostly that she just doesn't have time because she goes to college full time, and then when she comes home, she pretty much immediately goes to work. So it's more that she just doesn't have time to than if it's a matter of she wants or doesn't want to. So.
And she was stream bombing you earlier. It looked like she was sticking her hand out and trying to do one of
Oh
these
no no,
every.
she was trying to put the baby in her swing and was keeping the dog
No,
away
that
from
was
her.
before that. She had her hand out like right
Oh,
behind
did
your
she?
head, yeah.
Oh, what a
But
jerk
because of
face.
the victim thing right above your head, I couldn't see what she was doing. It looked like she was
Ah, I
giving
see.
you rabbit ears.
Oh, such a
I'm
dork.
she's funny. Big says, "So what is your favorite MS Paint drawing that I've ever made for you?"
Oh my God, Biggs, why? um, oh my God, I'd have to find it. I imagine Biggs probably has it laying around somewhere. I wanted to get some new like donation art, because I was kind of bored of the one I'd been using for a long time, and he sent me some pictures that he drew in MS Paint, and I'm talking like I. Words cannot begin to describe just what the horrors that he doodled for me, and I'm desperately trying to find it really fast because I want to show you the unless he can find it, link it to you. I don't know, but it's
You can share screens with us.
well, I don't know where it's at. I'm trying to
I would say
locate it.
if you find it, you could share a screen with us, and it'll pop up. It'll put your head down in the corner, and it'll pop up in your victim spot. So make sure that
Yeah,
you guys are all giving Abathur a follow! Exclamation point victim. I also added his Twitter link too, so that you guys can follow him on Twitter. Find out when he is going live, what amazing stuff is going on in his life. Make sure that you guys show him some love. And also, while you guys are in here, as long as you follow myself and my partner, Ghost GT27, you guys are more than welcome to use our shout out command. Exclamation point shout me, exclamation point fuck me. Yes, that's a real command. It will give you a shout out and safely drop your Twitch link in the channel so that we can give you a follow as well. But you have to follow both of us in order to use those commands.
I can't find it. Damn it.
Ah!
Biggs will probably find it later, but yeah, it was some really poorly poorly drawn art. Oh my God, it was great.
It's
I'll prod him with a taser and make him find it so I can show you later.
That's awesome. B says, "What are some things that could cause your stream to suffer? And also, what kind of things can you do to get your channel banned?"
um, man, like things that you shouldn't do on stream. I mean, obviously, just there's some obvious ones, and I mean, like I'm guilty of doing some of them too. But like don't do like gross shit like pick your nose or like weird stupid stuff that might turn some people off. And also oh my God, Big's got it. Awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna link this in your
No, no,
chat.
no. Just
Oh,
share your screen with us for a second,
hold on, I
so that
gotta
it'll come up on here, so that we can have it for the YouTube VOD too.
oh my God, hold on, I'm trying to find the one that he drew that was my favorite. Look at like let me just show you this filth. is so disturbing here. It's this dog thing. That's that. Yeah, that was my new follow image for about 10 minutes. It's like thanks for following. Yeah, it was beautiful. I was like, and he made me some other ones. They're just awful. They're just
Oh my
disturbing.
goodness.
The
Biggs, that's
host was.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, Biggs, I need new art. Get on it. And he's like, all right. That's my donation. It's like, do the thing. Yep, it's great. I was like, thanks, Biggs. Yeah, this is my favorite one, though. I mean, that's the shit of
Oh,
nightmares. You can't make this stuff up.
no, you can't. Oh
You
my
just can't.
word.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
Yep.
Mm. You have to reshare your camera with me again. I have gray
Oh,
screen for you.
whoops. Second. Oh, that's odd. It was showing up for me. Hold on. There we go. Is that fine now?
No.
What? What? But I have my cam on. I'm not share screening. Oh, I think we broke it.
No, there you are.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say
Alright, that's a little bit better. Let me see what the hell happened here.
10 out of 10. Yeah. No, that's hard.
I'll just fix this. Because, of course, as soon as we did that, it just went, nope, we don't like that. We'll put you right back here in the middle again. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so Ghost asks, what type of advice do you have for panels and overlays and titles in general?
Make them look clean, professional, clickable, like you want them to draw you in, and you want them to feel personal. Like, you don't want to necessarily just go on Google and go to like twitchoverlays.com and then like buy a $3 bundle and have the same generic ass panels and overlays that 20 other streamers are using. You want it to look very personal to you. Like mine is like my husky's our mascot, so all of my panels are related to our dog. And if you have some kind of theme or mascot or for your channel, like if you only play like League of Legends, you might want to make your style fit the game and stuff like that and make it look a little more personalized instead of just generic and ugly and boring. But you don't want it to be like either. Like it's got to look very nice. Just make them nice. It's such a stupid explanation, but you want it nice. I've seen some bad panels. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm having PTSD. I've been in a lot of small streamers' channels. I've seen some MS bait panels. It's not good. Don't do that.
Oh my goodness. I can tell this is a very touching subject for you. Those tears are real right now. For all of you guys that are watching, Ab is crying
I'm so sad.
for the loss of some people's horrible dignity.
It's like, man, I need panels for my stream. Let's whip up MS Paint and about 2 minutes later. Oh yeah, I'm getting partnered with this.
Yes, score one.
Yeah.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
Um, Probably upgrade my shit PC so I could stream in sweet, creamy 1080p quality, and then I'd just keep streaming.
Awesome.
you know,
Would
that way
you
I could just buy all the games and
all the
stream.
stuff
Yeah.
and get one of those what are the little external terabyte hard drive thingies? I want one of those so
Want
bad.
20 of them. One for every
Yes.
game. Yeah.
Yes, I want all
Yeah.
the games.
Yeah. I'd do giveaways and give it to charity and shit. And I'd probably invest in a hover chair since I'm gonna get too fat from laying around playing games all day anyway. So
Wouldn't it be amazing if you got to the point where you could give away an external terabyte drive that was full of nothing but fucking games?
I would just send them a terabyte hard drive full of Biggs's MS Paint drawings. Just a terabyte
That
of.
would be like troll level 5 billion right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, here, I'm gonna send you. It's gonna have some good shit on it, and they're expecting like all the AAA titles, and it's just big pictures, derpy little dogs playing video games. He's gonna have like shit drawn box art of like Call of Duty 4 and like derpy little stick soldiers and shit. Oh my
That's
god.
funny. Would you like to build or design your own house?
I you don't want to see the shit I've designed in sandbox games. I'm the kind of guy that digs a hole and sticks a piece of rock on top of it. It would be done in 2 minutes. It'd fall over. I'd build like a teepee or something because I'd get too lazy with it. I'm not an artistic kind of person at all. I would just use my lottery money to pay someone to make me a nice house. Hey, hey,
Hi, baby girl.
no fussarino. Please don't poop yourself.
Oh, I mean, if you need to take a break, we can.
Oh, mommy's supposed to be watching it, but I think mommy passed out.
I think mommy did too. We haven't seen mommy in a while.
And the
So,
dog's sleeping in the
hush, baby Abba.
chair.
All right. Brooklyn wants to know, how does it feel to have subs on your stream?
Well, like just to have people subscribe to me or whatever. I mean, it's pretty awesome to know that there's people who like me enough to actually support me with their lunch money. It's pretty exciting. Then I get to buy some pizza. It's pretty good. I like pizza.
Yay, I like pizza.
Yeah, but no, it's really awesome. I love everybody in my community. Even, like even the people that can't sub because, I've known a couple of streamers who literally won't play or speak to people that aren't even subscribers. And I don't mean like don't have like subs only chat on, but like just genuinely like don't even act like you exist unless you're a sub to them. And, I know that people they're not everybody can afford to drop that money every single month. And there's still people that are around every single day, even if they can't afford to give me anything. And I still love them all the same because, I just love being friends with them and getting to know them on a more personal level and playing with them every single day. And that's the most important thing, not the money.
Exactly. Snow wants to know, are you going to PAX next year?
Nope, I'm too poor for PAX. Maybe one day I'll have enough subs to go to PAX, but
Maybe.
not right now, unfortunately.
Be Ninja says, as a partnered streamer, do you have to be PG or can you be a little bit more vulgar?
Oh,
Have you met App?
oh my god, I mean, I wouldn't say I quite swear like a sailor, but I'm not PG at all. No, you don't have to be PG. You just aren't allowed to say the F bomb a whole lot when you're on the front page. Only a couple of times.
Hi, Inky Dinky.
She's being fussy, so we're gonna give her some cuddles. She can say hi.
Hi,
So
baby.
we're just chilling.
Normally, I would not allow children on my stream, but babies are different.
She.
I think it's what, like 5 to 12 are not allowed in camera.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. They actually got rid of that rule. I talked to my representative about it. They said that used to be a rule, but they recently discarded it.
Okay. I was gonna say because I have a friend of mine that works for Twitch, and he's like, "Don't ever have your daughter in your camera, because she's 7." He's like, "Don't ever
Yeah.
have her in your camera because that's bad."
Yeah, no, I cleared it with my rep when she
That's
was born, so
good.
it's okay.
She's such a cute little princess.
Yeah,
Aww.
but
There, look at their hearts for the baby. There's so many
yep.
hearts. Aw. Um, let's see here. Hold on. Do you need to have a great personality to bring in viewers? Yes or no?
Um, Not necessarily. I know a lot of people that have a lot of viewers and are absolute assholes, and they still pull thousands of viewers. It. I mean, yes, obviously, if you have a nice personality, it's going to be a lot easier on you. If you aren't like a professional player, I mean, if you're really damn good at a game, you can get a viewing base off of that, and you could have the scummiest personality ever. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but you can. But in general, if you're not like godly at whatever game you're trying to get viewers in, you need to be very personable and very friendly. Unless you're like, the kind of person that makes drama just to make drama, and that's kind of your spiel. Like, I know a couple streamers who that's literally their gimmick is that they're assholes just to be assholes, and they make drama and are racist and pricks just because there's a sick part of the community that find that funny and stuff. So they kind of cater to that slice of community. But in general, I'd say if you're a nice person and you put into others, people will put back into you, and you'll be better off that way. But yeah.
Yeah, there's one particular streamer. He's not a sub or he's not a partner or anything, but he could be. He holds the numbers daily. He'll hold close to 200 people every day playing fucking H1Z1. And the second time I ever went into his stream, somebody was view botting him, and I didn't know this. And he literally, every follow he got, fuck you, why the fuck are you following? You're fucking asshole. Like, just blew up on every single follow he got. He's like, "Quit following me, you wankers," and like just going off.
Jesus.
And I didn't realize it. And I asked him, I was like, "Why were you being such a dick?" And it had turned out that he was getting view botted that day or follow botted. She's like,
Hey,
"I want your glasses.
yeah,
Give me your
she's trying to maul
glasses."
daddy's face.
Oh, that's funny. Super Soaker says, we use movie quotes for titles and we actually get a lot of comments about our titles. With that being said, you are a small streamer and it's hard to keep people chatting. We talk to each other and ourselves, being as a hubby and wife or co-op stream. What would you suggest to keep our chat going? And I mean, we are talkers.
Um, I find in general, okay, I'm gonna lay you down because you are getting fussy. Anyway, I find in
Night,
general
baby.
you can think of stuff that's relevant to the game you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to keep up to date with like current gaming news. Like if you're playing a game, talk about the meta in the game, talk about your whatever loadout spells, whatever the shit you're using. Ask chat how they feel about the game you're playing, like what they like to do in the game. Bring up stuff that's been going on in the news, ask chat how they're doing. Like you just always want to try and engage your chat and bring them into the conversation. I mean, if it's always good to have other people in the stream with you that you're talking to because it helps keep you talking. But if you're just talking to each other all the time and you never make chat feel like they're welcome into the conversation, it can kind of be off-putting. So especially when the baby cries, right, baby? Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, so the more that you try to just ask chat how they feel about things, it'll definitely get people like talking because people definitely like to pipe in and give their 2 cents whenever you ask them about stuff. I mean, try bringing up religion or politics in somebody's chat and see how fast that gets chat blowing up.
Right. Um, and Nemo, to answer your question, I didn't use my camera until maybe 3, 4 months ago. I never used a camera, and I always did really good with that one. But Nemo says I started out with a face cam, but I've tried with no face cam, and I enjoy it more. Is it ever too late to go no face cam?
No, I mean, I know that there are some streamers who don't use face cams, and it does help to have one because it helps people relate to you and people love to see your expressions and it helps them get to know you on a more personal level. But I don't think you necessarily need to have one as long as you've got like what they call the radio voice. If you've got a very listenable voice and you're very engaging and fun, you don't need to worry about it as much. It just definitely does help to get people to click into your stream because I definitely find it a lot harder to feel invested in a stream that doesn't have a face cam. But to be fair, most of the streams that I watch that don't have a face cam, the person's usually not very engaging anyway. But if you're like very personable and you're having a lot of fun and stuff, I think, a lot of the times people will stick around because I mean, people are there to be entertained and watch the game be played anyway. So if you're having fun, they'll have fun.
That's great. Great answer. Ed Hildisrian says, I am a small female streamer and I'm trying to grow, even if it is slow and steady, so my audience can build. What would you suggest to keep my viewers and attract them in the most effective way?
Um, it's hard to say because Twitch viewers are a very fickle thing. I've made a lot of friends over the course of streaming who have since just up and vanished and ditched me or gotten salty for some small thing I've done and just left. I mean, over the course of a long period of time, it's hard to keep anybody around. I mean, I've still got some regulars that are still around from day one, but not many. It's hard to say, because they're fickle creatures, and I mean, people just kind of tire of things sometimes, and I mean, you just gotta try to be as entertaining and personal to them as possible. Because I mean, if you build a bond with them, and get really more personal with them, and make a Discord and invite them to it, and talk to them every day, and get on a first name basis with them and stuff, and be friends with your viewers, and they will want to come back because they're your friend. If you just treat them like numbers, they're not going to want to come back. So, yeah, I mean, just be nice to them. Right, sweetheart? Yeah, be nice to daddy. Daddy's tired of poopy diapers.
Is that what the problem is right now?
I'm not 100% certain what her problem is. I think she just wants held. Mommy was
Aw.
holding her all night, and then she put her down and went to bed, so I think she's not done. Super spoiled.
Spoiled. She's a big baby for 2 months.
Well, she's actually not super big. She's just all wrapped up. She's actually still pretty small.
Is
She's
she?
only she's only just now about 8 or 9 pounds where she should have been when
Oh,
she was born. She was only like 5 pounds 14 ounces when
is,
she was born. She
I,
was a little
I was
thing.
gonna say she looks much bigger than that with all that
Oh
blanket
yeah,
around
yep.
her.
She's got, I
Aw.
think she's got like a onesie on, and then she's got PJs on, and then she's got this giant sleeper on because it's really cold out tonight. It's
Oh,
only
it
like
is.
39 degrees, so
Oh,
we're
it's
trying to make sure that she doesn't get sick or anything. So we're just keeping her warm.
yeah. Yeah, I understand completely. And Leaf says, I've seen some people, I think you've already touched on this, but I mean, you could touch on it again. Um, I've seen some people with some crazy overlays and some with simple. What's your advice on that?
I mean that it's just down to personal preference. I mean, it's really impossible to say because not really any two people like the exact same thing. I mean, I might love walking into a stream and them having like a super sick overlay that's just over the top with like rotating flashing graphics and like it's a freaking rave going on, and then you might like it when a streamer doesn't have one at all. You just kind of have to build your stream around you and your personality and just try to be consistent with it. And I don't think people will mind too much. You just want it to look nice and professional. You don't want it to look like, because you want to come off as somebody that actually loves and doing what they're doing. And if you act the part, like, if you are obviously having fun when you play and it looks like you've put effort into your channel and you're consistent, you'll grow. And the most important part, once you've got all that down, is networking and meeting other people. But for the most part, as long as your channel looks nice and you stream on a set schedule, I mean, that's so important. I mean, you need to set a schedule and stick to it. If you say you're going to stream every Monday and then week after week you're not streaming on Monday, that's going to piss people off and people aren't going to come back. You got to be consistent. Consistently up all night pooping. Yeah, it's like her.
Babies are poop
Yeah,
machines.
she is.
Oh, yeah. So Bab says do's and don'ts in stream.
I mean, obviously, do be engaging, be nice, be friendly. Uh, like, don't bring up politics and religion. Those are the two fastest ways to piss off and divide your viewers. Oh my god. The second one of my viewers brings up religion and politics, it's just a shit flinging contest, and I gotta time people out. And yeah, we try to avoid those topics. I mean, like, don't do gross stuff on stream, and a lot of people don't like it if you eat on stream. I mean, I know that social eating is now a thing, so try and keep eating social eating where people actually want to watch you eat. I've also made the mistake of eating on stream, and it pisses a lot of people off. But just like try and make it where if you're streaming, you're trying to keep like a professional appearance, a professional appearance as an entertainer. Because at least if you're, like I said, trying to get partnered. I mean, if you're doing it as a hobby, you can do what the hell you want. But if you're genuinely trying to grow, you got to look at it a little more professionally. You got to, if you're putting more care into it, you got to go the full mile. And you got to be a lot more respectable with your appearance, and everything looking nice, and you behaving in a manner that is consistent with what you want in your community. I mean, like, for example, like with Shell, she, like you said, you make it very obvious from the get-go that you're an 18 only stream. If, for example, Shell were like super friendly and happy and nice and Minecrafty one day, and then the next day it's all blood, guts, and sexual innuendos and stuff, that's going to cause a lot of issues. So,
Absolutely.
you got to be very consistent with your personality and what your stream is about, and consistency and whatnot. And yeah, so it's just be it. Well, I would say like be nice, but I mean, like I said, there are
Be
streamers who
yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself. Exactly. I mean, and be, I mean, well, there's a lot of streamers that are very fake, and it's very obvious that they're fake for the sake of the show. I mean, if that's your kind of thing, then run with it, I guess. But I mean, if you can keep up that kind of persona that entertains, go for it. Like, I mean, like Benny Fitz is a freaking Muppet, and he talks like a Muppet. And honestly, I couldn't do that, but I mean, he does, and he got partnered with it. So good on him for bringing Sesame Street to freaking Twitch. But I mean, yeah, so just be yourself and do what you have fun doing. That's like the most important thing. So
Oh, that's amazing advice. And when we were talking about panels and overlays, I wanted to point out, and I just happened to see this. I ate Nemo said, "Give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go throw some glitter on my overlays." Or glitter on
fabulous.
my computer screen or something. It was kind of cute. I thought I'd point that out. I was like, wait a minute. Ed Hildistrian says, when you help a small streamer, what do you typically do? Any support that people give us is amazing, and I admire people who help small streamers, especially when you are so busy.
Um, Usually what I do when I help a small streamer is I go into their channel and the first thing I look at is see now I see you. You're trying to pull your pacifier out and you're gonna cry. She's no, stop it. Stop it.
Mhm.
No.
She wants to. Here,
I
I'll give her a pacifier for you.
it's like I'm holding her and she's just dozing off and all is well, but then my arms get tired and I just want, ma'am. God damn it. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm so
No
sorry. I'm gonna try
problem.
changing her and see if that's the problem.
That's fine. Let's take a
Give me
quick little
one
break.
second.
You guys keep asking your
Come on, Gigi.
questions,
Come on.
and I will be
Put this
right
on the
back.
diaper. I bet that's the problem. Yes, I do. Come on.
We'll take just a quick little break, guys. Um, in the meantime, I'm going to put up our BRB screen because you guys need to see our warning. So, 1 second, guys.
She's getting away my hand right now. Can you please help me? She's had a bit of a nap. It's been about an hour. I'm probably not going to stay up until like super late with her because her partner's doing six. So I'm feeling like, so just I think she was changed. I'm not sure. I'm the pop. I'm sorry to bother you. If she was being good, I wasn't going to, but she's just getting fussy. Love you. Okay, why is there candy on the floor? What the hell? I know it's Halloween, but I haven't even been trick or treating, and there's this candy. Think you should have muted his mic before he left. Wait, what happened? What happened?
No,
What did it pick up? I'm confused.
I have no idea.
Oh, I apologize.
No
Anyway,
worries.
to answer the question though that was asked before I left, what I do for small streamers when I help them, I normally, uh, wait, are we back on? We good?
Yeah, absolutely. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, okay. What I was saying was, I go into their stream and I look at their offline image because that's usually the first thing I'm going to see and kind of just take that in. I look at whatever the titles were for their previous streams. I look at their panels. I'll go into their VODs and watch, about maybe 10, 15 minutes of a couple of different VODs just to get a feel for their personality and watch how they act on stream, if they engage with chat, what their personality's like. And then I kind of just let them know how I feel. I mean, I don't necessarily give the exact same advice to each person because, like I was saying before, like a lot of people are very different. Like I've gone into streams where people have very nice looking panels and overlays, their camera fits nicely, but they're a little lacking on like their narration with the game and engaging with chat. I've seen people who sit and talk to their chat constantly, but their art is shit and like have poor titles, and so I just kind of help them and kind of guide them towards making making like sprucing up their channel, making it a little more approachable and professional, and kind of like, telling them, for example, like it when someone is going to watch your stream, when they're in the catalog looking at different streams, the only thing that they know about your stream before they ever click it is they get the little preview image, they see the name of your channel and the name of your stream. And so if you've got two streams side by side, and one stream has absolutely, like, just subjective, but like if one stream has no overlay, no webcam, and a title like playing gears, and then the next one has a very nice looking overlay, a webcam, and a title like playing gears on super hard difficulty, giveaway at 100 subs or something, like, it's more likely that people are probably going to pick the second stream usually. And so you want a title that's going to bring people in. You want your preview to always look nice, like a snapshot of your stream. And then once they get in, I mean, you've got about 15 seconds to entertain people. If you've got more than like 15 seconds of dead air, if someone comes in and you haven't spoken at all in a long, long time, they're going to get bored and they're going to leave. And I mean, if your art looks horrible and your overlay is either just way too much or just non-existent a lot of the time, people aren't going to be real happy. So I just kind of try and give them some advice and feedback on what I've seen a lot of fellow partnered streamers, how they have theirs set up, and just kind of guide them towards that to help them out. But I mean, again, it also all boils down to personal preference. And I mean, if you're just doing it for fun, just do whatever you want. But I mean, if growth and eventual partnership is your goal, you got to look at it a lot more professionally. So
Republica asks, is streaming long hours an okay way to build your initial community?
it's the honestly only way to build your initial community. I mean, like Twitch specifically has set guidelines for even partnering you when it comes to hours spent. You have to stream a minimum number of hours and days of the week before they will even let you get partnered. I mean, the more hours that you sink into one game, it's more time that you're getting exposure in the catalog and being seen by people in general. So chances are that if you're playing a game for like 6 to 8 hours, you're going to have better chances of being seen by more people than if you only stream for a couple hours. So yeah, so just the more time you sink into it, the more consistent you are, and the more you network and get your name out, the more growth you're typically going to get. I mean, if I play HOTS right now for an hour, I might get a follow, but if I stream HOTS for the next 10 hours, I might pull like 20, 30 follows. So it's just the more time you sink into it, the more you're going to get out of it, honestly.
What are the specific hours that they recommend?
I think they said no less than 4 if you want actual growth.
Gotcha. Say, because I stream typically 3 hours a day, and I have gotten over, well, close to 300 follows this month alone.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
mean,
I would argue that you have a more unique setup going on, though, to be fair, than
right.
a typical streamer. But yeah, I
That,
think, like, for example, Twitch would be more understanding with your dual stream setup than they would with, like, a normal streamer that only streams like 3 hours.
right. Well, because like Ghost and I combined, we stream 7 hours a night.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
And
saying.
since we work as a pair, would that be something that they would look at? Because when we go for partnership, we are going for partnership
Together.
together
Yeah,
because we do
exactly.
it all together. So, and I
Yeah.
would never apply for partnership without him, and the same with him. He'd never apply without me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, have you already spoken to a rep about it? If not, I mean, I
um,
could talk to mine about it and ask what he would feel
you could
about it.
ask him. I've talked to a couple admins about it, but they're
Oh.
not in that particular line.
Well,
So,
I don't think mine is either, but I don't know. I
right.
could just see what he has to say
Yeah,
about
see what he has to say and let us know because I mean, if Ghost and I need to make put more hours in, we absolutely will.
it. Yeah,
But ask him about the duality and see if that makes a difference or not. Because I mean,
yeah,
eventually we'll probably live within a few miles of each other where we can actually stream together
yeah,
and make it more partnership oriented than.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and with the community thing that you do, I think they would look at that and also consider that in with the partnership as well, as
Hmm.
opposed to just being like a solo streamer just playing games.
Hmm.
Since you guys do what you do, I imagine they would factor that in and give it more weight towards partnering you anyway. Because like Benny the Muppet guy, I don't think he was actually even pulling 100 viewers when he got partnered because of the uniqueness of his channel. So since you guys have something unique, they would more be probably be more inclined to actually partner you guys since you do something a little more special than normal. So,
That's awesome. I actually
uh,
had an admin that said, hypothetically speaking, how would you feel? And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
yeah.
I'm like, I can't go for partnership right now,
Hmm.
because I wasn't. I can't go without Ghost. So, um, let's see. What's our next question? You guys' questions are on point tonight. And Ghost is going to stream, but he said that if we need to go a little bit over to answer you guys' questions, this is an amazing night for all of you guys. And I hope you guys are all learning everything that you need to learn. We do these interviews for you guys, the viewers. And I asked Ab to be here as a partnered streamer specifically for all of you guys. So I really want all of you guys to utilize this time, for growth, for advancement and your own personal growth on your stream. Maximus says, "Would have you ever thought of doing a gimmick yourself?"
Well, I mean, the Abathur thing is my gimmick, but as far as like a channel gimmick goes, like not like with the game specific thing, but like a persona specific thing, I haven't really been able to come up with anything specifically that I would want to do consistently that would make me stand out in any meaningful way.
Hmm.
I mean, I wanted to go all in with the whole Abathur spiel way back when, and I actually talked to a cosplay artist who was going to make me the PJs that he wears, but she wanted like a couple $100 for all of it, and I couldn't
Holy
afford it
crap!
at the time. But like, I wanted to even go like all out and like wear even like the clothes that he wears, and I've got the little bug hat thing that is like part of him in the game and whatnot, and I wear it sometimes when I stream. But I
Aw.
wanted to go all in with it, but I don't wear it because it doesn't fit over my headset very well. So otherwise, I would more. But yeah. So I don't know. I like the Abathur in game being the only character I play is kind of my channel gimmick, and that's what got me partnered. But I like, and I mean, like gimmicks can get stale and can eventually kind of damage things, so you got to be careful with them. Um, so yeah, I mean, like it can definitely bring people in, but it can also chase people off after a while. So keep that in mind too when you're considering gimmicks and whatnot.
Yeah. Bab says, "I love to play COD and ESO in my stream, but I can't decide which one I should stick with."
Well, ESO doesn't have a very large viewer base at the moment, and COD has a very convoluted one with lots and lots of streamers. So if you're and like, I mean, it also kind of boils down to the fact that like if you were, for example, like really competitive at COD and you were really good and you competed in like ESL tournaments and got on a team, you could throw that shit in your title and tweet it and you could get more exposure that way. If you're not insanely good at it and you don't have some crazy way of bringing in people, you're much better off playing ESO than you are with COD, especially if you join my guild. But yeah, because I've considered getting into ESO as well, and I have like a guild that I have, and we have a Discord for it and everything. But I've just been having trouble getting enough people together to play it to be worth streaming it because I feel streaming it solo and doing like play PVE stuff isn't really engaging to watch. So I want to like get a group of people together and do like guild content and have a lot of people bantering and communication going. I feel it would make it a much more watchable experience. So yeah. But yeah, so I mean, like honestly, if you're competitive at COD, go for that. If you're not, then just stick with ESO because if ESO happens to get a hiccup in viewer count, being an ESO streamer could be a good thing. I don't know.
And Omega, yes, there's a fly that keeps like buzzing my face and it's pissing me off. Like
I get
it's
yeah.
been I have plants in my windows and we're surrounded by bean fields and there's a plant right down the street. So there like if you go outside during the day there are like swarms of gnats to where it looks like there's clouds floating in this,
Oh
and
God.
so I have like these little tiny gnats that come in through the crack in my window, and there's one fucking fly in here and it's just like, yeah. It's annoying the hell out of me.
Yeah,
So yes, I'm
I'll
adding
I'll be playing a game and there'll be like a fly buzzing around my face, and I'm just like, go away, demon.
it.
They exist purely to torment us.
Steel Dawn says, I also donated my hammer picture to Abby. If links are okay, I show it. Steel Dawn, you can give it to my partner Ghost, and he can approve it. If he approves it, then he will post it. Um, let's see. Sean, what's going on, honey? How are you? How can I get animations without a computer if I just have a PS4?
I don't know. I'm not a console streamer. I have absolutely no knowledge about how console streaming works. Shell probably knows more about that than I do.
Yeah, Sean, there is somebody in the community, in the Safe Zone community, that can help you with this. I would recommend personally getting like a cheap or like getting like a cheap tablet or something that you can go into Twitch alerts and set that up so that you can use it. But I think you need to use OBS for Twitch alerts. So I really don't know, but I'm sure that there's somebody in the community that will reach out to you and get the fuck off my face, um, and can help answer that for you. So if anybody in here can help Sean Fleet P77, please do. Um, let's see here. Avenged, what's going on, honey? How are you? Sorry, I'm just getting to this. Like, I feel horrible. Like, we're 30 minutes behind on these
Oh
because
God.
you guys are amazing with all your questions. So, like I said, we will get to all of your questions, I promise. Brooklyn Bound Boy says cheese, pepperoni, or sausage pizza?
All of the above.
Yes.
All at
The
the same
answer
time, baby.
the answer is yes, Brooklyn. Yes.
Yes.
um
Safe zone.
DZ live on Twitch with that host. Thank you so much, man. Play on playa. Speaking of DZ live on Twitch, how do you feel about small streamers being on partnered stream teams or on non-partnered stream teams?
um, well, I mean, wait. So, non-partnered streamers being on partnered stream
No,
teams?
non-partnered stream teams. Like before I was on the Players Club, I was on a non-partnered stream team.
So, like an unofficial stream
Yeah,
team?
an
Get your
Because
ass to
unofficial.
Wisco.
oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I was just kind of confused because, as far as I was aware, you could only have an actual Twitch stream team as a partner. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, if you want to build a community and you guys genuinely network and work together and stuff, there's nothing bad about it at all. It's only good. As long as you're genuinely also putting back into it. I mean, I see too many streamers who join places like CGN and join these Discord communities just to shit their Twitch link and then immediately leave, hoping that, all these people are going to come follow and watch them. It's like, if you don't, put into it, you're not going to get nothing out of it. So that's the most important thing.
Hold on. Mad Might. Mad Might. Are you fucking kidding me?
What I miss?
Oh my god. Mad Might, I fucking love you so much. He
$100?
just donated $100 for our trip to fucking Wisconsin. Mad Might, I love you, dude. Oh my god. Thank you so much for that donation. Cheers, double shot to you. Oh my god, thank you.
Nice.
Oh my god, we're over 50% of the way there, guys. Ghost, I'm coming, baby. I can't wait. Oh my god, we are so freaking close. Holy shit. Sorry about that. I needed to celebrate for a second. That's amazing. And I don't know if you heard about that or not, but Ghost and I, we have been doing this together for almost a year now. February will be a year, actually, since we kind of started not streaming together, but like doing everything together. Um, and we just recently decided that we're finally going to meet face to face. And we're going to everybody's been asking for someone to interview me, and they've always asked if I would interview him. So, Ab, we decided that when I go out to Wisconsin, if we could fill that donation bar, that Madma Reloaded, who lives in the UK, is actually going to interview both of us while we're together. He's
All
going to
right.
interview both of us as a team.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be so hyped. Oh, God, I'm so excited. But thank you so much. Holy shit. I'm like, huh. All right. So Sean P77 says, how do I get people to stay when I don't have a computer, just a PS4 and no cam?
Um, Again, it boils down to gameplay and personality. I see a large number of console gamers that don't have cams and overlays and stuff because I imagine with a console it is probably a little more complicated to get that stuff set up. So like if someone comes into a console stream, you have to put double time into your personality and be a lot more engaging. I don't know how chat works when you're console gaming. I'm imagining that you probably have to have like a third party thing to read chat. Is that right, Shell?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm a PC streamer.
oh, I thought you did play on console.
Ghost plays on console.
Oh, that would be a question for Ghost then. I don't know how. I imagine you probably have like iPad or phone or something to read chat, but if you can see chat while you're playing the game, it's super important that you do talk to your chat, engage with them. I mean, if you're playing like COD or something, talk about the loadout you're running, talk about why you're running it. Just be commentate on your line of thought while you're playing and engage people in your gameplay. Don't just sit in complete silence with some rap music in the background, just running around dying a bunch. Like, you want people to care and be there for you and stuff. And there's just way too many people that sit there in silence with music running and they're, just playing the damn game. You want people to be like, wow, this guy's actually pretty good. This guy's really funny. This guy's really nice. You want them to think something of you. If you're completely silent and you're not doing anything to make them like you, they're not going to stick around. So just be personable and commentate on the game a bunch, ask chat how they're doing, engage them with you, and they'll stick around. It just takes a while.
Infamous says, I want to know how your wife can slice a pizza so good without it falling apart. This was part of your stream earlier.
She uses a plastic butter knife. It's fucking sorcery, and I'm calling a priest next week about it. I don't know how she does it. It's horrifying. Yeah,
Safe
no human
zone.
being should be able to slice a pizza with a plastic butter knife and make it cut that good. It's just not right.
That's pretty amazing. Infamous says, the person that was getting view botted, is that the same one? I think that I can't pronounce my name to save his life. What?
I think that's asking you, not me.
Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't even know where we're going back to. Infamous, I'm sorry, sweetie. You'll have to ask me in Discord later because I don't even know what we're referencing at this point in time. Because we're literally 30 minutes. But you messaged me that 30 minutes ago.
Uh, Probably doesn't even remember anymore.
All right. All right, Super Soaker. What I meant was we interact with our chat constantly. We even ask random questions, and
Where's
we
the
end
battery
up
at?
with lots of lurkers to the point that we even say, we see you there. Don't be shy. Say hi. LOL. I guess I was looking for more of, do you have any suggestions on like how we could get the lurkers to chat? Hold
My
on, he's not done.
Sorry.
I mean, we say some random shit. We even only chat with each other. Could you maybe one day check out one of our live streams and see what you think? Maybe give us some good advice.
Oh yeah, that's fine. And I mean, like when it comes to that, if anybody wants me to check out their channels and stuff, like don't be afraid to PM me, DM me, whatever, with your link, and let me know what it is you want. If you just want critique, you want advice on your channel, whatever. Don't be afraid to whisper me, and I'll get around to it eventually. Like, don't be mad if I don't do it in like the next day or two, because I'm a very busy person. But I promise I will get around to people's channels and help you with that. But the general rule of thumb, from what I've heard most partners say, is don't poke the lurkers.
Mm-mm.
If people aren't talking in your chat, there's probably a good reason why why they're not talking. A lot of people like to just jones out to your stream. And I mean, in my chat, I have a lot of people that watch me stream while they're working or doing housework, and they'll walk away and just have me on the speakers, and they're not there to talk, but they're still listening and stuff, and they like to have that background noise. So don't be mad at people that don't talk to you. They don't hate you. Just be glad they're there.
Yeah. And personally, Super Soaker, Ghost and I, for instance, I'll have 5 or 6 streams up during the day, and I'll be lurking in every single one of them, answering a couple hundred Twitch or Twitter emails, Discord, doing everything that I can for the safe zone. When I get called out for lurking, I leave. If a bot says, look at so and so's lurking in my channel, if a bot calls me out for lurking,
Yes.
I fucking leave.
Never, ever, ever have a bot
Yes.
welcome people to your channel. It is so impersonal. And
Yes.
like on one hand, I feel that like maybe if you're a huge streamer, it might maybe, but then at that point it just gets spammy. But I mean, if you're a small streamer, you don't need a fucking bot saying hi to people coming into your channel. I mean, at that point you're just kind of like, oh look, there's a person on my channel, you know? It's like you just need to focus less on the view count and more on the content and quality of your channel, and the view count will go up on its own.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
Right. And for those of you guys that do have those bots that say so and so just entered my channel, set that shit to a fucking whisper.
Yeah.
So it whispers you, because seriously, I've been in so many channels where it's like, oh, look, Rochelle just came in. Have a good day. And I'm like, bye.
And then it's like Rochelle has left the channel. Goodbye.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm
Boldly.
like, bye, because I mean, I'll sit there and I'll listen to you and I'll watch you, but I mean, half the time I've got so much stuff going on that I want to lurk.
Yeah.
Or I want to watch you. Like a lot of the people that I have upcoming interviews for, I'll go look on your channel for 5 or 6 streams just so I can watch your channel and see different aspects about you, so I can get to know you a little bit better without you even knowing or even acknowledging me being there.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. Don't ever call them out.
Yeah.
Jacanda said her oldest was 9 pounds 11 ounces, and I could tell you it was painful.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's a big baby.
Yeah.
Gamer Rising says, how do you feel about having a point system in chat? Do you think it makes viewers want to return?
I mean, some people don't give a shit about it, and there are people that definitely like it, especially if you attach meaningful rewards to it. I mean, I've gone through numerous different currency bots from the beginning of my channel, and I've never really been able to home in on one that I really liked. Like, for example, I got Deepbot, which is a really nice bot, but you have to pay for it and whatnot. But the benefit of Deepbot is that you can actually set commands to run videos and animations on your stream that people can pay currency for. So like we used to have a lot of animated commands where people could type like, I don't know, whatever, and then the video would play. Like I don't know if you guys seen Zootopia, but like we used to have the sloth command, and it'd play the, what do you call a 3-hump camel? Pregnant joke, and then chat would always get a good kick out of it and whatnot. But like the issue with that is that if you let people spam it, it gets really, really obnoxious really fast. And if you put really long cooldowns on it, people get really mad because they get so many points they can't spend them all. So I mean, if you're gonna have a point bot, you want to have rewards that people want to spend the points on. So, and I can't really give you advice on that because what, sweetie? The cats? Oh yeah, and I had a cats one where you could type cats and they would go meow. People like people like that one too. It's
That's
cute.
funny. Our point system, we use those for giveaways. At the end of the year, Ghost and I are going to do a really big giveaway that's going to cost quite a few points. I've seen people that use points for song requests. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't have any problems with it. In my channel, I have it kind of in a manner where, like, see, I used to do sub song requests where subs could always request songs at any point in time, but a lot of my subs would troll me with really god-awful music, and it would piss off and even make some people leave. So I just kind of turned off song requests as a whole, and I just kind of made it like you can redeem a certain number of points to play a song specifically, or you can donate $2 and request a song, because it just got to a point where people were just playing awful cancer Twitch music over and over and over, and it was just not fun for anyone. So, yeah, so we had to quality control it a little bit.
I can understand that. War Room Cult Gaming says green screen or not.
Oh God, I mean, it depends. If you've got a really shitty, messy room like mine, to get a green screen. I have a green screen, but I don't have it set up right now due to space constraints. I used to have it hooked up or set up behind me, but once the baby was born, we had to cram a whole bunch of baby-related stuff in, and we have a very small room because we rent a place for my uncle, and it's not a very spacious place. So I had to move everything closer to the wall, and there's just not room to put a green screen up. So but I mean, I've seen streams with green screens and I've seen streams without green screens. In general, I lean more towards green screens because you get to see so much more behind you get to see the damn game. You don't have like a big block of space that's just their room cutting everything off. It's much easier to do really cool things with green screens too. You can do all kinds of neat stuff with green screens. Gives you a lot of creative flexibility. But if you just don't want to hassle with it, or if it's a money thing or a space constraint, it's not the end of the world. I mean, honestly, I don't think someone's going to specifically hate your stream because you don't have a green screen or not. So,
Right. And something that I like to tell people too, just kind of adding on to that a little bit, Ab, is if you do not have a green screen, I recommend, in even if it's just the simplest overlay for your camera. And the reason that I say this is just a tiny little simple, just maybe a little tiny line around where your cam goes. And the reason I say this is because it breaks up the difference between the one defined line to your gameplay. So
uh-huh.
it's a lot easier on the eye and it's a lot more appealing. So if you've got, let's say you've got, like Ab right now, if I didn't have a border around him, it would be like literally the cutoff of his couch and the cutoff of his dog straight into my or straight into my background. So it would
Yeah.
be a definable difference. Whereas the overlay that goes around him, the border that goes around him, breaks it up and makes it easier on the eyes. So that's something else to keep in mind. Let's see. And Ghost said he is gonna play tonight if you're willing to play. It's up to you if
Yeah,
you want to
for
play or
sure.
not.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through as many questions as we can. We're not really on a time restraint, so it's fine.
Yeah, and I mean on that though, I mean like if anybody has any questions at all, I mean whisper them to me. I'll answer them. I'm not gonna bite. I mean a lot of bigger partners aren't gonna take the time out of day for you, but I will. I will always make time to talk to everybody and answer your questions. So
Um, A Brooklyn Bound says, "What do you ever stream for 24 hours to bring in more viewers?"
when I do 24-hour streams, it's not to bring in viewers. It's usually as a reward for some kind of goal that we've reached, or when I'm doing like some charity streams. I'm a bitch and I normally don't even make it through my 24-hour streams. I need my sleep, so I usually end up cutting off at like the 12 to 16-hour mark. You can ask any of my viewers. That's usually how it goes. But I mean, you might bring in the odd curious person, but I don't think trying to do lots of 24-hour streams per se is really going to lure in people specifically because we're doing 24-hour streams. I think, you know, people can only stomach so much of you unless you're really funny. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I lost where we were. Okay. What was the biggest game, or the best game to start streaming? New released or older games?
Um, See, it's hard to say because it's really neither. If you play a new game, it is almost 100% guaranteed that larger partnered variety streamers are going to be jumping on them before you even have the chance to, and they are going to gobble up all the viewers and you're going to get nowhere. Because if you think, oh man, Dishonored 2 comes out in a few weeks, I'm going to stream that and get all the viewers, so is every partnered big streamer. They're all going to be streaming it, and then they're going to be at the top of the catalog. People are going to see, oh, this guy has 3,000 viewers. That guy has 3 viewers. Most people are going to click the 3,000 viewer one. That's just the sad truth of Twitch. But then on the flip side, if you're playing older games, like say you go back and you're playing like the old Resident Evil games or some ancient game that no one's ever heard of, you're not even going to be visible on the catalog list of Twitch. And chances are, unless someone is very specifically searching up that game or is finding you through social media, you're not going to bring in viewers that way either. Picking games in the middle of the catalog that don't have like massive streamers but are still kind of growing. I'm trying to think of some examples, like shit like Ark and to some lesser extent H1Z1. H1Z1 does have some big streamers, but you can still get somewhere streaming H1Z1. And like, Heroes of the Storm, like, Smite is way too small at the moment. League and Dota are too big. Heroes of the Storm is like right in the middle, as there's only like one big streamer at any point in the day usually. And then if you have like 30 viewers, you're usually up near the top, so you can be seen. And so you have to kind of get analytical with it and be like, okay, there's no huge streamers playing this game, but there's still a decent audience for it, and then niche yourself in there and kind of have a gimmick that'll bring people in, and people will definitely come. So
Yeah. What's up, DZ? How are you doing? Okami says, what would the bet? Oh, we already said that one. I just have to scroll down a little bit. The replica says, actually, Abathur brings up the topic of music. What do you think about having it in the background versus not?
okay, if my rule with music is if I am playing a game where audio cues are not super important and that we're not listening to something specific in the game. So for example, if I'm playing like a MOBA where I don't really need to hear stuff as much and I'm playing solo, I'll play music. Usually though, if I am voice chatting with somebody else, I turn the music off and I let our conversation in the game be the focus. But if I'm just playing like, some casual game or a game like if you're playing like a shooter and you're crouched and you're stealthing around and you've got music blaring, you're probably not going to hear people sneaking up on you and you're going to get shit on a lot more often. So me being a more competitive inclined player, I prefer the advantage over like having music blaring in my ear for the audience. So I honestly switch between the two, and it's more on a game by game basis. But if you want to always have music on or you never want to have music on, that's completely up to you. But I feel a lot of the time it's better to have music on to fill that dead air than to have nothing, because if you can't think of anything to say and you're not talking and there's no music, everybody's going to hear you panting and weird noises in the background. It's just uncomfortable for everybody.
That makes perfect sense. Um,
Oh, hush.
aw.
You gotta go potty? You gotta go outside, babe? I think she got potty. She's giving me those bug eyes.
Aw. What if it informs someone to follow me that you're a lurker?
Oh no, she's like for example, like calling out like instead of having a bot greet people, have you yourself call out people. Honestly, I think that's still kind of like poking people.
Mm-hmm.
My rule now, like I used to occasionally go in my viewer list in between games and like say hi to newer people in the stream. Be like, hey man, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good time. If they've been there for at least, like 10-15 minutes. Because usually if they're there for any less than that, they might just be passing through. But I kind of just stopped doing that after a while, because not only was it tedious, but there was too many people that didn't like that. But I felt like, in a sense, I thought of it as like a nice gesture, like, oh, this guy's actually taking the time out of his day to notice me and make me feel special. But there's just too many people that find it kind of creepy, so I just stopped doing it. But yeah, I mean, if someone says hi in chat, I always say hi back. I will always acknowledge every single person in my chat and be friends with them. But I try not to push and prod on people that aren't talking much.
Mm-hmm. Um, Replica says, do you think that putting playing with viewers in the stream title draws in viewers? When I stream multiplayer titles, and I enjoy with the audience.
I mean, it can. Like, it's hard to say, because in a sense, I feel like a lot of people might not necessarily just go into a random streamer stream to play with them, because they don't know you. They don't know if they're going to like you. They don't know how you are with that game. I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily want to just invite a complete stranger to play a game with me if I don't know how they are. That's like think of it like you're inviting a complete stranger into your house to sit and play a console game with you. You probably wouldn't do that. So I feel like a lot of people probably aren't really inclined to join you in that kind of a thing when it comes to streaming either, unless you have like a large following and, they're like, oh, this person's pretty popular. Sure, I'll check them out. But I feel like on the smaller end of things, maybe not so much. But I mean, if you do it and, you get people that join you, then go for it. I mean, there's nothing necessarily bad about it. I just think if that's your sole way of trying to grow, I don't know how well that would work. You know what I mean?
Right. Jackrabbit says, if the purge was real, what would you do?
Um, probably go in my neighbor's house and delete their WoW accounts.
That's funny. All right, guys. So we're going to finish up the questions that we have here. So if you guys have any more questions that are really important, please do get those in right now. We're going to try to wrap this up with the questions that are remaining. And then we're going to go over to Ghost stream for a little bit and play some what are we playing? Overwatch. So Ghost, don't start your stream up yet because we still have quite a few questions to catch up on. But for those of you guys that are in the stream, thank you guys so much for all these amazing questions. This VOD will be on YouTube tomorrow so that you guys can rewatch it to see whatever questions you guys might have missed the answers to. Um, and Coscam, thank you. He said, no question, just mad respect for you and Abba for taking the time to help people. Cos, we love you.
Yep.
Good night, Maximus, which I'm sure you're already in bed. Jack Rabbit wants to know which pussycat's name.
My pussycat's name. I don't have a pussycat. I got a dog.
It used to be Gary.
Oh yeah, he used to be Gary. We had a cat named Gary. He was a little shit. He destroyed everything.
I love that.
I love that cat.
Leaf wants to know what's your favorite milkshake flavor.
Probably strawberry banana.
Where would you suggest looking for a good game to stream?
Oh man, there's a service that I have that is mainly for game companies to use, but it's also kind of in the beta stage and available to publishers, I think. It's called GameSite. And so you can use this game to go and compare how games are faring on Twitch, and you can check out like what a game's direct competitors are. So for example, if you're looking at like Call of Duty, it'll tell you like its direct competing games are like Battlefield and like, you know, CS:GO, and it'll tell you like how many people have been streaming the game, how many new viewers it's had, et cetera, et cetera. So what you can do with that tool is if there's a game that you like and you want to check it out or whatever, you can use that website to go and compare it to other games of that genre and see which ones are growing. Typically what you want to do is find a game that has more viewers, like growth than streamer growth. So like if a game is losing streamers but gaining viewers, that means it's the perfect place to nestle yourself into, because as streamers leave and more viewers come, you're more likely to get new viewers. So it's a great way to find the perfect game to get into for growth. So yeah.
What was that name again?
The name of the thing, it's gamesite.io. I might have to bug the guy to get the exact link because I'm not sure if that'll take you to the right one.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really neat little service. I'll have to talk to him and get it. So if you guys are interested in it, you guys can whisper me about it or something. I'll make sure to get the exact link to you later. But I think that was the one I had bookmarked. If that's not right, then I apologize. But yeah, that's what it's called at least. You might want to Google it, but it's really cool.
Very cool. Two Fierce Pandas, to answer your question, if you want to be supported by the Safe Zone, all you have to do is follow myself and my partner Ghost GT27, and you have all of our backing. Avenge says thank you. Let's see. B, we already answered that question a couple of times. Make sure that you watch back over the YouTube VOD tomorrow so that you can catch the answer to it. What's up, Ford? Let's see. If you're trying to get more followers, how does it? How does it if you need to take a week off from streaming? Yeah, how does it work for you if you have to take a week off from streaming? I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I can't stream for 6 days.
There's not really anything that you can do about it. I mean, any extended period away from streaming is going to be damaging. There's just not much you can do about it. I mean, I've known a couple of streamers who, you know, would pull like 50, 60 viewers every time they'd stream, and they took off a month and come back and they're pulling like 10, 15. And, you know, so if you can avoid long time, like long periods of breaks and stuff, I would. But if there's nothing you can do about it, you're unfortunately just going to have to take the hit and just get back on schedule and keep trucking along and hope they come back and hope they didn't unfollow you, unfortunately. I mean, it's not like you can really control it. I mean, definitely post on social media and let your viewers know ahead of time, unless it's like an emergency and you can't. But if you let them know, they'll hopefully stick around. And if they don't, then they weren't worth it anyway, were they?
Replica says, last question for me tonight. White sauce versus tomato sauce on pizza.
Wait, what kind of sauces?
White sauce versus tomato sauce on pizza.
Oh, white sauce being like the Alfredo sauce kind of thing, I'm
Alfredo
guessing.
or butter, one of the two.
Yeah.
The butter
My
garlic.
my wife likes the Alfredo stuff, but I lean more towards the pizza sauce, mostly because the Alfredo tends to give me more acid reflux issues than the tomato does. So, but I'm not opposed to it. If I do eat it, it's usually like an extra cheese pizza with stuffed crust with Alfredo cheese, and it's just this big sloppy mess of cheese. Get shit for a week.
Yeah, that's funny. And last question of the night, and this is a great question. Um, just to wrap this up, before we take a quick break to go over to my partner's stream, the last question of the night is from Bia Ninja 69. She says, "What is the number one tip that you would like to give to streamers who are wanting to become partnered?"
Oh goodness. Probably consistency. Consistency is going to be your absolute best growth tool. You got to set a schedule and you have to stick to it. And, social network, talk to lots of streamers and work with them. The more communities you integrate yourself into and put into, the more you're going to get back from it. Uh, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so much that when it comes down to trying to get partnered. I mean, there is no simple like do this guys when you're getting partnered. I mean, getting partnered is such an intricate giant beast. But I mean, there's definitely things you can do to increase your chances of that. And I mean, if anybody is interested in talking to me later about it and having their stream looked at, and I can help you on that path, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, consistency, I'd say. As long as you're streaming between like 4 to 8 hours a day, however many days a week, and you are doing it on the same days, and the best way to do it is to play the same game on those days too. I mean, yeah, variety streaming's fun, but it's harder to hold an audience that way. So if you pick one game, stream it a certain amount of hours, a certain amount of days, repeatedly, people will eventually come. It's just patience at that point. So
Wow, that's amazing. And again, guys, there's Abathur's link right there that Ghost just posted in my chat. Make sure that you guys give him a follow on Twitch and Twitter. Um, I have to say, thank you again so much for being here with me tonight. Thank you again for everything that you do. I really do appreciate it. The time that you've spent here with us in the safe zone today has just been phenomenal. The amount of love that has been poured out into detailing hints and tips for all of these small streamers is just so helpful.
yeah.
So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this with us. I really do appreciate it.
Yep, it's no problem. And
Thank
like I was
you.
saying, I mean, like if anybody has questions that got missed and you want to ask them, just whisper me and I'll answer them for you. I got
Right.
no problems with that. So,
Right. And if any of you guys did miss any of this, again, it will be on my YouTube tomorrow. So make sure that you guys sub to my YouTube so that you can get this and check it out. You could also check out DZ Live on Twitch's interview. That's on um, my YouTube as well. So much different information for each one of those partnered streamers that you guys will be on partnered stream overload. Um, that'll just help you guys grow so much. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's go through and thank a few people. First of all, Mad Mutt, that donation blew my fucking mind. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Bruck, War Fury, the Steel Dawn, Red Kiz, Johnny the Bear, Replica, Gamer Rising, Hatchet Wolf 11. Thank you guys so much for the follows today. You guys are amazing. Again, if you guys have not followed my partner Ghost, make sure that you do. Abathur Leafs, Ed Haldisrian, Brooke, Danny Boy, DCP, um, Aaron, Ghost GT27, Mr. Moneybags, War Room Cult Gaming, Phantom Rogue, Omega, Heaven's Army, King Sport, CN Sun, Hunt Squirrela, Maximus, Bia Ninja, Darian, Casa Blast, Princess Rumbetta, Real Free Gamer, a Super Soaker, Avenged Death, DZ Live on Twitch, Jackrabbit. Thank you guys all so much for those hosts. You guys are freaking phenomenal. Every host helps so much. Ghost, if you want to go ahead and start that up, I appreciate it. You're amazing. Epic Fan Time Show, Epic Fat Fun Time Show says, I followed every single person in here. That is
Wow.
epic. Love you. You're amazing.
So
21,
wait,
what's going on?
so is this the awkward part of the stream where I make a complete ass at myself at how bad I am at
Yeah,
Overwatch?
absolutely. So this is
Oh
what we're going to
boy.
do, guys. We're going to go over to my partner, Ghost GT27 stream, and we're going to go play some Overwatch with Ab. It's going to be amazing. the the word for tonight is simply thank you. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go over to my partner stream after I host him and after I post his link. You guys will go over into his stream and you'll type in the words thank you. Once you do, then I will give you your 2,000 safe zone points for that raid. Ab, thank you so much again for being here. I absolutely love you. Everything that you've done has just been amazing. So, again, thank you so much for your time and effort and all the amazing information that you've shared with us tonight. And everybody that's in here in the safe zone, I will see you on the other side. Bye bye. Hold on one second until I shut off the stream so we're clear.